Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
This is the Cinereelists, episode 704. My name is James.
My name is Logan.
And we are here to talk movies and movie lists and movie obsession with you for the next hour or so. Probably more than an hour, I would guess. Yeah. Since we're talking a movie and a full list. Logan is here. How's it going, Logan?
What up? Stoked to be here. This is awesome.
Nice.
Second time on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Just as exciting as the first.
Yeah, and your last appearance was episode 638, 66 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we talked about?
Yeah, it was bike riders.
Bike riders. Yeah.
We saw it at the theater at Disney Springs.
That's right.
That was awesome.
Is that the first time you and I hung out?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Nice. First time.
Awesome. So if you're a longtime listener, you know there are two voices missing from this podcast tonight. It's Kyle and Zach are both out of town. Zach is in India working, which I'm super jealous about.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to go to India on somebody else's dime.
No kidding.
That would be the best. I forget where Kyle is, but not as fun as India.
Did you tell me he was also leaving the country?
Yes. And he told me where, but it wasn't as fun as India.
Oh.
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll tell us all about it when he gets back.
Yeah. Hey, because they're both not here, I still actually have not been on an episode with Zach. Because when we did Bike Riders, it was just me, you, and Kyle. So I don't know. Zach's avoiding me. I don't know.
That's definitely what it is. He went all the way to India to make sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. No, they'll be. Actually, Zach's out for like 3 weeks or so. So I don't know when you'll hear his voice again. But I think Kyle will be back next week. So
nice.
Yeah, it should be fun. And I asked Logan if he'd come on and guest host with me, and he was up for it. So here we are.
Yeah, always.
Welcome. Since last we talked publicly on this podcast, you and I also went to Universal Studios. What do they call it? Epic Universe.
Epic Universe. Yeah.
I think
that was awesome.
I gave my opinion on it. What did you think about it?
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. I am not like as attached to most of the Universal properties as Disney. Obviously, like that's the comparison. Maybe with the exception of Harry Potter, I do love a lot, but man, they're just doing really, really cool stuff at Epic Universe that I feel like Disney has to like kick their butts in gear to catch up now, because Epic Universe is kind of better. So yeah, it's awesome. Some of the rides are like just like mind blowing. Like you get off the ride and try and figure out how they made all of this happen. And it just like melts your brain. You're like, I don't know, but it was awesome.
Sure. Yeah, there's so many moving parts, and the mixture of practical and digital displays, practical effects and digital displays were just, there's not much that Disney's doing that compares to it.
Yeah, at all. The two that come to mind are the Monster one and the Harry Potter ride, where they were both like mixing screens with actual props, and like there are genuinely times that you cannot tell which one is which. The other thing that really blew my mind, I guess mostly on the Harry Potter one, was like it'll like move the ride vehicle like up to a screen kind of, and you like you definitely know you're watching a screen, but once it starts moving again, like the set is almost like an extension of what was happening on the screen. So you don't even realize for, a couple seconds that like now you're not looking at a screen. You have moved to the next thing, and the movement is real, and now you're looking at real props. I don't know. It's probably like 2 or 3 times that happens during the ride. And I'm just like, whoa, dude, like what is going on? Yeah. So that was exciting.
That and during that ride, they would have animatronics or like practical set pieces in front of the LED screen.
Right.
That's like floor to ceiling, like multiple floors. So you basically can't see any edges. But then there's a practical thing in the middle of the screen, and then a screen inside that practical thing.
Oh yeah, like the elevator. Yeah.
Yeah, the elevator that was like a hologram
Right.
of the actors. And so, yeah, it's just, and you were moving from one room to another so fast, it was just hard to fully take it in. I can't wait to go back someday. And
Yeah.
now that I know what to expect, just kind of watch it less for entertainment and more just to
Mhm.
figure out how they did it.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
Dude,
the only thing that's even close to it, I would say, is Rise of the Resistance at
Yeah, for sure. That is all mostly practical though, which is like impressive in its own way. And honestly, I kind of always thought that like I preferred when everything was just practical and they're not putting screens in front of me, but I wonder if I'm like sort of thinking differently now because I'm like, well, Universal found a way to make screens really, really cool and like really add to the experience. So,
sure. Definitely. Universal too. Universal Studios, right? The old school one they built in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. They just closed down their like big roller coaster at the park and tore it down. And there's rumors that there's 4 other rides that are going in the next year.
In the like what footprint of where that one ride was?
No.
Oh,
they tore down the main one, and there's 4 other legacy rides that are on the chopping block, and they're basically going to reinvent the old park.
Wow.
Essentially. Yeah.
That makes sense to me because I mean I've only been to Universal once, but like I don't know. I feel like I mean it was maybe 50% of the stuff I saw or like the lands or whatever. I'm like this is like kind of barren and not very impressive or cool like at all. Like
sure.
So, but they did a great job with Epic. So
for sure,
I trust them. They're gonna make it cool. I had one thing I wanted to tell you about. I thought it'd be cool to talk about on the podcast. Remember, I told you I went to that play in London because Alicia Vikander was the lead of the play.
Yeah.
So I told you I went to this. I didn't get to tell you about it, which I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about theater at all. But like, it's a story about like family and like family dynamics, and she's married. She's a stepmom. The male lead is the guy from Walking Dead.
Okay.
And she has like an ex that comes back into her life. And so she's kind of trying to explore like if that's appropriate or not, whole thing. Story was good. But the reason it's really, really cool, and I'm glad I went, was the production design.
Okay.
The entire second act of the play has real water falling from the ceiling like rain. And the actors are like acting like they're in a in rain, like in a rainstorm or whatever, like talking and acting, doing their whole thing. And I mean it's in like the stage is in the middle and it's not like a huge arena or anything, so like it's kind of close in like intimate setting, and it's all around, so it's not just like a stage in front and then stadium, it's like all around the entire stage. And it's obviously like it's super, super quiet in the theater. I don't know that the actors were even using microphones. I think they must have been, but it seemed like just so quiet. So like you're hearing the water hit the stage like it's rain, and they're obviously just getting like progressively more wet as they're acting. So then the middle of the stage starts slowly sinking and it's filling up with water. So like as they're acting out the second act, they're like slowly just getting like, I don't know, shin deep in water and like splashing around. And like there's a scene where some of the characters are like taking off some of their clothes, and they're like, obviously their clothes are soaking wet. So they're trying to like get them off. I mean, it was absolutely insane. And then the very, very final scene takes place in like the rich guy's pool. So the stage gets even deeper, deep enough for them to swim back and forth while they're acting like they're swimming in a pool.
Interesting.
It was absolutely nuts. Like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I only ended up at that play because of Alicia Vikander. I mean, if she was not in it, I would not have picked that one. I would have gone and seen like Book of Mormon or something,
Sure.
But she was acting in it. She's one of my favorites, so I had to go. And I'm like, holy crap, man! I didn't even know theater could be like this. This is amazing. It was so cool.
Yeah, every time I go see like, a Broadway level play,
Yeah.
I'm never disappointed.
No. That's only the maybe second or third one that I've ever been to. So like I said, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know theater well, but I mean, that was baffling. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
I wish I lived in a town that like
Yeah.
got plays more often.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And normally by the time we get them, the play has already been a hit for like half a decade, and it's
Yeah.
like the touring company, not the original
Right.
cast. It's fine.
Right.
Not knocking it. It's just not the
Yeah.
same as like being in New York or London where they have like they're there and they're doing it constantly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was thinking because I bought the program just to like have as a souvenir or whatever. And
Mhm.
obviously I'm like reading through the cast list and there's like the understudies and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but if for some reason the understudies are on tonight, I'm gonna be so mad.
if,
But
if Alicia's not acting, I'm out of here.
yeah, I'm out. So
That's
anyways,
funny.
yeah, it was a good time.
I miss Alicia Vikander. It seemed like she was on such a run, and then
Yeah, I think Tomb Raider killed it, dude.
yeah, I think maybe Tomb Raider did. Although, did you see Tomb Raider?
Yes, it honestly is not that bad.
I didn't
It's
think
totally fine.
it felt like a good first movie in a series, and then
Yeah.
the series is never going to happen.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was just getting into it by the time it was over.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And she's obviously the best part of the movie. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
giving her like a ton to do, but it's just honestly fun to see her in kind of like the action role, you know,
Mhm.
because she hadn't done it before. So, and they definitely like they wanted it to be a property. Like they wanted to keep going. You can tell by the way the movie ends and everything. And
Mhm.
yeah, they're never making more of those. Bummer.
Well, not with her anyway. I think they'll wait
Yeah.
another 10 years. Although I think Tomb Raider in general has waned, or at least in this moment, there's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of hype around it.
Yeah.
We'll see if it comes back around again or not. I was bummed about that one too because there's just not too many actresses, female actors, whatever you want to say, that they will let lead a movie.
Yeah.
And so whenever one comes out and it bombs, it's just
Yeah, it's like another nail in the coffin almost.
it kind of perpetuates the
Yeah,
myth
yeah.
that they can't be.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
exactly.
When it's really not about that. It's probably some other bigger issue with the movie or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Or the timing or who knows what it was. But yeah. Anyway. All right. Good chat. You ready
Yeah.
to you ready to talk a movie that I guess has a female at its lead, one of the leads
Yeah.
anyway. Before we jump into our movie for this week, Yorgos Lanthimos' Bugonia, we need to remind you there's a video version of this podcast on YouTube. Go check it out there. Subscribe and watch while you listen. You could also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Cinereelists. You could leave us an Apple Podcast review, 5 stars only, or send us an email to heyguys@cinereelists.com. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. Logan, you ready to talk Bugonia?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Bugonia is in theaters now, and we're going to talk about it right after this clip.
The 5:30 thing. Look, I know you sent the email already, but I need you to let everyone know that they are free to leave at 5:30 from now on, starting today, okay? But do it in a way that's, what we talked about. Yeah, of course. We need to send the message that we have a new culture here now, where people should, yes, of course, feel free to leave at 5:30 and be with their families. No one is going to be overworked like in the past. No more unpleasant incidents. But, of course, it's not compulsory. And obviously, if people still have work to do, they should absolutely stay and continue to work. But it's not strictly enforced. Although, we still do want to meet quotas. So if we can do that with no pressure, just remembering, we are running a business here, so let your conscience guide you kind of thing. Yeah? Good?
I'll definitely let them know.
Great. New era. Thank you, Corey.
That was Bugonia, a 2025 absurdist black comedy thriller directed by Yorgos Lanthimos and based on a 2003 South Korean film titled Save the Green Planet! I did not know that this was a remake, essentially.
I didn't know either until same. I had looked it up, I don't know, on Letterboxd or maybe Wikipedia or something, and I
Sure.
saw that. Yeah.
Bugonia stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, Stavros Halkias, and Alicia Silverstone, amongst others, although it's primarily them for sure.
Yeah.
The official IMDb plot synopsis is: two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Pretty
didn't
close.
realize they mentioned the alien part in the synopsis.
Evidently they do. Do you think that's a spoiler?
I don't know, because I guess it is pretty quick in the movie that it must be, I don't know, 20 minutes or so.
Sure.
I think they come out with it and say like that's what they're doing. So maybe it's not, but I didn't know going into the movie, so I was surprised. I thought it was
Sure.
cool to not know. But
I
yeah,
think both you and I didn't see a trailer, right?
I did not see a trailer.
Right. So I don't even know if it's in the trailer, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be.
Hopefully that's not a spoiler, but if it was, sorry.
It's in the synopsis. We're fine.
Yeah, right, for sure. So yeah, Bugonia, we both seen it. It's been like a week and some days for me, but it has stuck with me. I've thought about this movie more than a few times. What did you think of it?
I absolutely loved it a lot.
Okay.
I pretty much have like loved everything from Yorgos Lanthimos. So like I was excited to see this without having seen a trailer or, really knowing anything about it. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was amazing. I loved the performances specifically of Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons both. I think are like just killing it in this movie. Jesse Plemons is interesting because he's playing the like conspiracy theorist part like pretty like big, I would say. Like he's really going for it. Like he's a total nut in the movie and I loved it. But what was cool is like they kind of make they show small parts of like his earlier life before the movie that sort of like show the journey, I would say, to like how he got to where he is when we see him in the movie. And I thought that was really cool. Not that like he's justified in his actions for sure, but anyways, I don't know. It was cool to see like, oh, he's been led here. Like he's absolutely out of his mind, but in his like weird roundabout way, he's been led here. And yeah, so seeing Jesse Plemons like act both of those parts out, I thought was awesome. Emma Stone is like she's kind of doing the typical like monotone sort of like muted performance that I think is in a lot of Yorgos Lanthimos movies, but there's so many subtle, like little tiny nuances to her performance that are like so brilliant, but they're kind of spoilery. So I won't go into detail, but she's amazing as well.
Let's do spoiler chat at the end of the podcast. So you can save it, but we'll definitely talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, the story is awesome. I mean, it is like weirdly funny. It's one of the ones that you're watching and totally think like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing at this, but like it is funny, The movie totally goes places. That'll be, I guess, fun to talk about in spoilers. I really, really like in movies like this that make you sort of, at one point you feel like you have it figured out and you kind of know where it's going to go. And then the movie just makes you flip-flop your opinion 20 times through the runtime. And I think it's so much fun to watch and like experience that while you're watching the movie. So, yeah, I don't know. What did you think?
I loved it as well. I thought it was really well done. It's probably not my favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie just because he has so many bangers. You know what I mean? Like that's
for sure.
It's really hard to beat Poor Things and Dogtooth for me. A little bit The Lobster. There's maybe 3 or 4 that I would put above this movie, but but I love those movies and I love this one too. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to choose for sure. This one's probably just lower just because Dogtooth is like so specifically unique.
Yeah.
I would say there's not even anything in his filmography that I've seen compares to it. Compares to it in the way that it is. You know what I mean? It's like so dry and so serious and so awkward.
It's truly one of the strangest movies I've ever seen. Like, I don't know that I know a single person that I can recommend that movie to, because like I don't fully understand why I like it, you know?
And some of the subject matter in that one is like so icky.
Yeah.
But for some reason in that context, as long as you stick with the movie long enough,
right,
it all makes sense, and it's still disturbing, but in a Greek way and not in like a slasher or, you know, horror movie kind of way or something like that. But yeah, Dogtooth, very specific. Same thing with Poor Things. It's just so wacky, so colorful, so like the guy that directed like Jabberwocky and
Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam. It just very much feels like a Terry Gilliam movie.
Yeah.
Like at his height type of thing. Brazil. That's not Terry Gilliam, but you know what I mean.
I think that is Terry Gilliam.
Brazil?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's the Coen brother? Hudson. There's a Coen Brothers movie that I'm thinking of. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Brazil is Terry Gilliam.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a hard time with him specifically because I'm going to compare this movie or anything he releases to those.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
That being said, Bugonia, I think, kind of is the slickest of all of those. Like, kind of the most accessible.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this and maybe Lobster, which Lobster is like way too nihilistic, I think, for most normies.
Yeah, and I kind of loop like Dogtooth, Lobster, and Killing of a Sacred Deer almost into like the same bucket stylistically, where like everyone is like so monotone, so muted, and like everyone is like hyper emotional, but no one is actually showing emotion. And that to me is like the almost like the staple of like Yorgos Lanthimos. And that was what I was saying. Like I feel like Emma Stone is kind of doing that in this movie a little bit too. But yeah, I agree. I think this and Poor Things, if like sexual situations don't bother you, I think Poor Things is also pretty accessible.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, these two kind of live in that world, but I agree.
With Bugonia, though, specifically, what I liked the most about it was that the kidnappers, right? They went a long way to explain why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
And they might be misguided, or they might not be misguided. You don't really know. That's kind of the fun of the movie, is you don't know whether they're misguided in kidnapping this CEO played by Emma Stone.
Yeah.
But they went a long way to humanize them, give them reasons. You see Jesse Plemons' character take care of his cousin, who is what do you put it, on the spectrum? I don't know what you would say. Yeah, he's on the spectrum, and so he's being cared for by Jesse Plemons' character, and he kind of adores the character Jesse Plemons plays and will do anything that guy tells him. And there's a clear, genuine affection happening there, even though there's also a little bit of Jesse Plemons' character kind of taking advantage of this guy on some level. Maybe not taking advantage of him because he thinks what he's doing is right.
Right.
And he's having his intellectually challenged cousin help him do it. But maybe if he had a different accomplice, they might ask more questions about what they're doing.
Yeah, totally.
So, but I like that dynamic that normally when you have a movie with a kidnapping in it, the bad guys, if there's an attempt to humanize, it's not nowhere near what they go through in this.
Yeah. I found myself thinking like, I mean, pretty much exactly what you just described. I'm like, I don't want to feel like Jesse Plemons is like justified in his actions for sure. Like he's not, but like in the real world, someone would hopefully go to therapy and not kidnap someone and accuse them of being an alien, right?
Sure.
But that being said, you can like see why this character would need something like therapy, and like that them
Sure.
showing, that journey that like led us up to that point, I think was like a powerful part of the movie.
Yeah. Definitely. And then conversely, you've got Emma Stone's CEO character, CEO of like a drug company, I believe.
Yeah, like pharmaceutical or something. Yeah.
Or at least one of their businesses was pharmaceuticals. And she's just like clearly a disingenuous person and, kind of the girl boss cliche.
Mhm.
And she knows exactly what to say, but she has no idea how to say it,
Yeah.
essentially. Like she has no human tone to her, or like emotionality, and that could just be the cliche of a power woman. You know what I mean? Kind of hiding vulnerabilities type of thing. Or it could be that she literally has no human emotion. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how Jesse
Yeah.
Plemons' character reads it, essentially.
Mhm.
And so I liked the idea that they flipped the victim and the kidnapper and like kind of their roles. They
Yeah.
made us feel
Yeah.
bad for the kidnappers, and you're intrigued by the Emma
Right.
Stone character, but you don't necessarily feel bad for her
Yeah.
because she
Yeah,
kind of seems like a bad person.
I think that was like another just big thing in general that made me enjoy the movie so much was like it felt to me like they were very purposefully trying to like parallel some of these things with the real world where like the ultra wealthy, CEO is, like you said, just completely like unrelatable, doesn't know
Mhm.
how to like interact with a normal person. And like, I think we're safe to say, based on the synopsis, like the fun of the movie is you as an audience are trying to essentially figure out like, do you think Emma Stone is actually an alien, or is he just crazy and he's accusing her of being one and is totally off base?
Mhm.
But um, yeah, what you were describing, like with her performance, it just lends itself to that thought in the audience back and forth the whole movie. Like
Mhm.
different parts of her performance make you think, oh no, she definitely is. And then, something else happens. You're like, nah, Jesse Plemons is pretty crazy. I think she's not. And, so
Sure.
that was just like such a fun back and forth.
Yeah, the mystery of the film, sometimes when films hinge their success on something as, you know, specific as a mystery like that, it's not as intriguing as the filmmakers probably think it is. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
they haven't
Yeah.
done the work to like get you invested in it. I had no problem with that in this movie. I
Yeah.
was immediately
Yeah.
invested, and every time I was leaning one direction or the other, they had these two characters that had opposite viewpoints, and they just kind of took turns leading the pack in my brain as far
Yeah.
as like which
Same.
one was right and which one was wrong. And they kept doing that, just kind of refreshing the mystery over and over again. And you combine that with the pacing. This definitely has Poor Things favorite style pacing. It's
Yeah.
one scene after another. They are not lingering. Dogtooth, slow burn. This, not a slow burn for
Yeah.
sure.
Totally.
Um, so yeah, you've got those two characters played by two actors who are like just hitting every note this movie needs to hit, essentially. And you've got this third player in the middle of it who is just so ridiculously charming and innocent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
he's just being bounced back and forth, almost like he's almost our surrogate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know what's
Totally.
going on either. And like occasionally you can see him cracking and leaning towards, oh, we shouldn't treat this lady this way. And then other times he's leaning towards, but my cousin, he takes care of me and he's telling me this is the way it should be. And so that you could, same questions, same style of questions going through my mind. So, and then you've got Yorgos's pace combined with like the fisheye lens and like all the little tricks he's picked up over the years,
Yeah.
just integrated in this that made it really a treat to watch, I would say.
Yeah. I totally agree. I was thinking of like the CEO angle and I even put it like a blurb on my letterbox review. I was like, so remember in the movie, he's working at like a packaging thing. He's
Like an Amazon style
it's
place.
like Amazon, right? So I'm
Right.
like, I just can't help but think throughout the movie, I'm like, okay, Emma Stone is like some weird stand-in for Bezos or something, right?
Hmm.
The thought that I had was like, I wonder if like maybe the movie is trying to tell us that it doesn't matter whether Bezos is an alien or not, but he's so different from a regular human being that he might as well be, you know? So I like kind of had that thought like throughout the movie as well. And again, it's like, I mean, I just can't say enough about like Emma Stone subtly doing all these things
Sure.
throughout the movie that just like play into that theme. And
Hmm.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because she was amazing in Poor Things too, but I've never like been an Emma Stone fan, you know, like I think
Sure.
she's perfectly fine, but she's kind of, I don't know, just proven it over and over again with Yorgos Lanthimos movies. So
Yeah, definitely. When you say you're not a fan, I assume you've seen La La Land.
yeah, it's one of the best movies ever. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I like movies that she's in, and obviously she's a great actress, but she's just, I'm not like, she's not one of my favorites, I guess.
What about Easy A?
Yeah, it's funny. It's a
Okay.
good movie.
Those are the two I'd point to.
Yeah.
I
I
like.
can't think of,
Yeah, I loved Easy A, and then La La Land was the first time where I was like, "Oh, I guess I have to see just about everything she has now."
yeah,
You know what I mean? Just to make
yeah,
sure not missing anything. But yeah, her post La La Land run, especially with Yorgos,
yeah.
has been fun to watch for sure. All right, anything else with like from a content perspective? There's a lot of cursing. There's like a pretty
Sure.
bloody section in the movie. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
torture, I would say. But for the most part, it's all treated kind of lightly. So unless you're
Yeah.
like intensely object to those things, I think you'll be
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah, I just also like I absolutely love Jesse Plemons' character just
Mm-hmm.
being the absolute like insane conspiracy nut that he is. Because like
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it, right when the movie starts, like we literally start the movie in the middle of a rant that he is going through to his cousin about I don't even remember what like about like the system bringing them down and stuff like that. And um just the crazy views that he's just sort of ranting about honestly the entire movie like
Mm-hmm.
they read like a comment section from some like conspiracy subreddit or something like that and like I was just laughing at it throughout the movie like I found it so funny because I'm like you probably could go online right now and find all of these sentences in one way or another on a comment section, you know? So like I just felt like they kind of nailed that character so well, you know?
Absolutely. And it's fun to see him get to play, right? Because normally he's like the third or fourth fiddle in a movie for the
Hmm.
most part. It's not that he doesn't stand out occasionally and things like he's barely in Game Night, but it's what I remember the most about that movie. It's him
Uh,
being the neighbor in Game Night.
I don't even know that movie.
Okay. You should check it out. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a comedy about board games
Awesome.
in a weird way. That's a very misleading synopsis, but anyway, yeah, and he plays the neighbor who's upset that he never gets invited to Game Night.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Fitting.
yeah, I see him like as the intense guy who shows up in movies but isn't really the star of movies.
Right.
And between this and Kinds of Kindness, it really kind of has set him up for me to be like, okay, I'm into this. Whatever he's in next,
Yeah.
that like he's the main lead, like I'm gonna give it a shot, or at least
Yeah.
watch out for it, see who's directing it. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. I was already there with Emma Stone, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure I'd gotten there with Jesse. But now I'm
Mhm.
there.
It's funny because I know him from Friday Night Lights TV show, and he's just like
Okay.
the bumbling, like goofy friend, you know? And like, I mean, that show had its time. It's not really great by like today's standards, but I liked it
Mhm.
when it was coming out. So it is pretty cool to like see him go from that to what he's doing now, you know?
Sure.
one other thing that I really, really liked were the few scenes we got that were like kind of I guess like surrealist,
Hmm.
where his mom is played by Alicia Silverstone. And remember, like, I don't remember the exact context, but the first one, he's like, she's laying on a bed or something, and he's pulling these like giant needles out of her or something like that. And it switches to black and white. And it also like does a few close-ups on his face, and he's not like saying anything, but he just has this like defeated and like heartbroken sort of like look on his face while he's like pulling these needles out of his mom.
Hmm.
And then the other one, similar kind of thing, it switches to black and white and just it shows uh him and his mom outside the hospital where Emma Stone is like the CEO of or whatever. And same thing. I can't remember him having any dialogue during those scenes, but he's just playing it so differently than like the conspiracy nut that you just saw 5 minutes ago. You know, it's like it's quiet. It's acting with his face and um I don't know, seeing those performances in the same movie, I'm like, dang, dude, he's a good actor. Like he's not
Yeah.
messing around. He's legit.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll get to see more of him like in lead roles for things.
Yeah. Also, I found out he's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, he's married to Mary Jane.
Come on,
I know.
jackpot.
Yeah, and they seem like totally normal people too. I love it when
Nice.
people at least feel totally normal.
Yeah.
Anyway, I watched a couple interviews with the cast like on
Mhm.
YouTube, you know, where they do events and stuff like that. And it was so fun seeing them interact with oh, what's his name? The guy, Aiden Delbus, the guy who plays the cousin.
Yeah, I
Because
was
they're
really
just
curious. I've never heard of or seen that guy before. What is he? I don't know how to say this. Like,
he's
is he
really like
normal?
that. He's really like that. Yes. He's really like that.
Oh, interesting.
Like he is in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's fun to hear him talk about the movie and hear him
Yeah.
talk about his impression of the other actors and stuff like that, and have them just kind of let him talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And love
Yeah.
it. Like clearly those three went through something and they
Yeah.
have bonded. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's
And
awesome.
in most of the I listened to like 2.5 interviews, and pretty much they just sit back and let him talk.
That's
You know what I mean?
awesome.
For most of them. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you've seen the movie and you want more of it, just search
Yeah.
YouTube for Bugonia interview. They're
Check it out.
they're
Yeah.
fun watches for sure.
You know what else was a really, really cool visual was
Mhm.
them like putting the lotion or whatever it was
Yeah.
all over Emma Stone, and she's like white, and it does a few like close-ups of her face. And I mean, really, it is just Emma Stone, but I'm like, dude, this is like actually kind of creeping me out. Like, I don't want to look at that, you know, like, and it's so
Yeah.
simple. They're just putting like white lotion on her or whatever, but it was creepy.
Well, it's a combination of the white lotion,
Yeah.
the like blood red jacket she had on,
Yeah.
the shaved head.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, she shaved her head. I forgot.
Yeah.
Did she do that in real life?
Yes. Yeah.
Crazy.
So
I
that-
forgot all about that.
And on top of that, Emma Stone already has like big eyes,
Hmm.
but she was like in those close-ups, she was like popping them out like
Yeah,
as big
yeah.
as possible. And so yeah, again, that's part of like the back and forth where
Hmm.
everything that they've done to her has made her look
Yeah, not human.
like an alien. You know what I mean? And so it's weird her deny it,
Yeah.
and yet she kind of looks like it. But they're the ones that did that to her.
Right.
So yeah, it was it's a fun one for sure.
Yeah, it's great. It's hard to talk about without spoilers. There's so much you
know.
can spoil, I feel like. So
For sure. Speaking of which, let's talk some spoilers. Before we jump into that, though, we got to give this a star rating, letterbox style, out of 5 stars. What are you gonna give it, Logan?
I'm at a 4.5, but I very frequently like tweak star ratings a little bit after I've seen a movie, and it's entirely possible that it goes to 5 stars. But I gave it 4.5 on Letterboxd.
I also gave it 4.5. I do not adjust unless I rewatch. It's a
Gotcha.
rule. It's a rule.
Nice.
And I doubt I'll rewatch before the end of the year. But the only reason it's a 4.5, to be honest, I have no complaints really.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 4.5 because I love Dogtooth and Poor Things so much that I don't feel like it's on that level for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are 5 stars. So it's a little arbitrary. I'm docking it half a star for not being 2 of my favorite movies of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So not exactly fair, but that's where it sits.
It makes sense. Yeah.
If this was like Bugonia starring Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, directed by anybody but Yorgos Lanthimos, it would probably be 5 stars.
5 stars.
Right. If this was like somebody's first film, I had never heard of the director, 5 stars guaranteed.
Easy. Yeah.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway. All right. 2 4.5s for Bugonia. If you want to hear some spoiler discussion about Bugonia, if you're listening on an audio podcast app, just listen after the end of the show. We'll be back with spoiler chat. If you're watching on YouTube, just click the link in the description to jump to the spoiler chat. Let's get into our top 10 conspiracy thrillers. How did you make this list, Logan?
I'm gonna be honest, it's not super scientific.
Okay.
We played pretty fast and loose with the conspiracy thriller part of it. There are a few of them on here, and I did some watching for this list also. So yeah, there's a handful in there. Anything that like didn't quite exactly fit into that sort of conspiracy thriller box. I just tried to pick it because it had some other connective tissue with Bugonia. So I think everything fits, in the context of the movie that we watched, but maybe not strictly speaking conspiracy thrillers. So yeah, we'll see. You can let me know what you think.
Sure.
What about you?
I mean, roughly the same. I used multiple lists, kind of went through them, had a couple in my brain that I thought might make the list that weren't on those. Yeah, and conspiracy is tough because there's a lot of political conspiracy movies, and then there's like, aliens. Like conspiracy feels like a specific term, but when you really think about it, it's kind of broad. when you're talking about movies that have to come up with storyline hooks,
right?
A lot of things are conspiracies. So we'll see where we landed. I mean, most of mine are pretty famous.
Yeah, I think
famously known as conspiracy movies.
I think so.
And some of them are true stories, and some of them aren't on my list.
I don't think I have any true stories.
No. Or true-ish anyway, based on a true story.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first?
You can. I went first on Bugonia, so you can go first.
All right. I'll go first. My number 10 is not a true story, but it's a fun one. From 2016, Operation Avalanche, which has come up on this podcast a couple times over the years and is a movie that I enjoy quite a bit. It's a found footage movie directed by Matt Johnson, who stars in Nirvana, the band The Show. Have you ever seen that?
I have not seen that one, but that's come up too.
Sure. He also directed and starred in The Dirties, which is another found footage movie that I enjoyed. That one's based on a school shooting. Operation Avalanche is like, what if a documentary crew was hired to go into NASA? I take it back. I don't even think they're a documentary crew. I think they're like another branch of the government. And everybody's nervous that we are not actually going to get to the moon. And so this other branch of the government poses as a documentary crew, infiltrates NASA, and then essentially fakes the moon landing and gets a bunch of footage on NASA grounds to help fake it, just in case the moon landing doesn't work. They have a backup now, but they don't want to tell anybody at NASA that they're doing this.
Right.
Because then NASA would be like, you're not doing that. You're not faking us landing on the moon or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's part comedy, part thriller, I would say. Um, the movie itself is fun to watch, but when you dive in and realize that they essentially filmed this without permission from NASA, they just like took cameras
Wait, in
on,
real life?
yeah, on tours of NASA and just like filmed stuff.
What? No way.
They like dressed up in like 60s clothes and stuff like that, and like nobody called them out about it. And then there's a bunch of stories of them getting footage on NASA property without getting permission.
That is crazy.
Combine that with footage that they shot on sound stages and in other places. Like they used like old classrooms, like elementary school classrooms, and just like they kind of halfway look like rooms that you would imagine in a NASA facility in the 60s type of thing. So
yeah,
you move some stuff around, aim the camera in the right corner, and all of a sudden you have a NASA office.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, they and it's like a no budget movie, basically, just people with no resources doing the best they can. And then I think it got picked up, like it was good enough, got enough hype that it got like a major, Lionsgate picked it up. So
nice.
It was the first movie that those guys made that that got decent distribution, I would say. Also, Matt Johnson is the guy from Blackberry. He directed Blackberry and is in Blackberry. So
nice.
Anyway, if you're just looking for a fun movie, or you like movies about the moon or NASA, this one
I love found footage, so
there you go.
It's footage, on the watch list. Yeah.
Operation Avalanche. It's a good time. And 94 minutes.
There you go. Kyle would love it.
Yep.
Speaking of movies that Kyle loves, I watched The Conversation, 1974.
Okay. He does love that movie.
Francis Ford Coppola. This was a double whammy for me because I wanted to watch more Francis Ford Coppola movies this year because I found Megalopolis to be the most interesting bad movie I've ever seen. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch more. Never seen The Godfather. Own it on Blu-ray. Anyways, I'm just going to be a hot take artist for like 1 second here. The Conversation is the most mind-numbing, boring thing I maybe have ever seen. It's truly
interesting.
Truly awful. The ending actually ended up being pretty cool. Basically, like the movie follows a guy that does private surveillance, basically. So he gets hired by, it seems like the top dog at a company or something wants him to investigate his wife. So the very beginning of the movie is him finding a way to do surveillance on her having a conversation with a man like in a public square or whatever. And you kind of find out at the end, spoiler alert for a movie that's from the 70s, the conversation they were having at the beginning was them plotting to kill her husband. So like you don't know that going through the movie. It's kind of all reframed at the very, very end. So that was interesting, but there's nothing in the movie whatsoever during like the normal runtime that is even close to being entertaining at all. So maybe it could have been a short film, but the ending might only work if you're bored to tears by the time you see it. I don't know. But the thing that really bothered me was like no one is like giving a performance in this movie of any kind. Like I really felt like every single actor in this thing might as well have just been like reading from cue cards or something. I'm like, and Gene Hackman, I mean, I don't really know anything about Gene Hackman. I haven't seen a lot of like really old movies or whatever. I know he's like well regarded as like one of old Hollywood's guys, but man, he was boring. So
I love it when people have adverse reactions to movies that people consider classic films. It's the best.
I was really worried about it because I'm like, man, sometimes it's like I'm not trying to be the hot take
no
guy,
I'm with
but
you.
it's like, man, there's nothing good to say. But yeah, I don't know. I just did not. I wanted to like it and I didn't like it.
Sure. I looked it up
Well,
on
it goes.
Letterboxd. I gave the conversation 3 stars. So definitely not a bad rating, but
Yeah.
I don't consider it like, untouchable either.
Yeah.
For sure.
I gave it 2, which is 1 star for the ending kind of sort of being cool, 1 for young Harrison Ford, because I didn't know he was in this. So obviously when I saw him, I'm like, okay, we got something going on. We
Yeah.
didn't really, but it tried.
You figure when they filmed this, it was like 5 years or so before Star Wars was released. So he
Yeah.
was, very fresh faced.
Young.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, the conversation, 2 stars.
Nice. All right. My number 9 is Pi. Just PI from 1998. This is speaking of Darren Aronofsky. This is a Darren Aronofsky movie.
Yeah.
In this movie, like there's this like amateur mathematician, I would say, who is just hyper paranoid and has isolated himself from everybody, basically everybody in his life, essentially, because he is like obsessed with finding a sequence of numbers that will like grant somebody social power in the world, essentially. It's a weird movie. This is Darren Aronofsky's first movie. It's in black and white. I think it was shot on like 16 millimeters, so it is very intentionally grainy and crappy looking, I would say. It will totally remind you of Nine Inch Nails videos from the mid 90s.
Awesome.
100%. And there are multiple actors in it, but for the most part, there's just one main guy. He's holed up and he's just messing with his computer screens and like freaking out about things and thinking he has it and then he doesn't have it. And then at some point, of course, he thinks he has the right sequence of numbers, and then he gets super paranoid about protecting those numbers and goes on the run for a little bit. On the run, I'm putting that in air quotes because it's more like him just moving from shadow to shadow and assuming that everybody's following him because they want his numbers, type of thing. And much like Bugonia, it's one of those things where it's like, are you going to buy into the idea that he's actually doing something real, or is he just out of his mind? You'll have to watch the movie to find out, basically. Yeah. But it's another one, much like Project Avalanche, that has a micro budget, like almost nothing. You're talking a young guy in his directorial debut with no money. He made this with like just his friends, basically. And it was good enough that I believe his follow-up was Requiem for a Dream.
Wow.
And in that movie, he got legit actors,
right,
and had a budget to make a movie type of thing. So if you're into Aronofsky, like from a content perspective, there's nothing. It's black and white, so there's nothing like crazy extreme. It's kind of an icky movie because it's just a guy in like a small dark room, being paranoid and freaked out most of the movie. So it won't be for everybody for sure, but I know you definitely can handle. If you handle like The Elephant Man and like, you can handle David Lynch, you can certainly handle Pi. That's for sure.
Mother is a top 10. That's also Aronofsky, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
this is far from a visual content perspective. This is far less challenging.
Gotcha.
Than those movies, but Pi, since it's so indie, there are some people that will just be pushed away from it because of its smallness and its look and feel. But if you can get past that, it's great.
Yeah, it's also on the watch list.
Nice.
Sweet. Number 9, I have The Parallax View.
Nice.
From 1974. This was a blind buy on Criterion, actually. So, I sometimes have a bad habit of buying Criterions and not watching them, but I had a great excuse to watch The Parallax View.
Nice. So this is one that you watched recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it for the. I had seen it before, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Parallax View is cool. It's still, I mean, it's a 3.5, so like I'm not obsessed with it, but I really liked the opening scene. It's about a reporter who witnesses an assassination at Space Needle in Seattle.
Mhm.
And he thinks that he kind of knows like who the assassin is, so he's gonna like investigate and find out who the assassin is and bring them to light. So um, through the runtime of the movie, he sort of gets like involved in like a conspiracy of there's a company that is essentially like recruiting people to become assassins, I guess. So like they go through like psychological analysis or whatever. I really don't remember like the fine details of the movie. I just have a few scenes like seared into my head that are really, really awesome. The Space Needle scene is one of them. There's another one where he's going through the psychological test
Mhm.
that the company is putting on, and they're flashing like all this crazy like almost like reminiscent of like Clockwork Orange, where they're just like making him look at things. But
Mhm.
um, a lot of it is like American imagery. So like an American flag will wave or like a bald eagle or something like that. And the scene just continues on and on and on. And then at the very end, there's like a big event with politicians, and he
Mhm.
thinks he's like tracking down the assassin and kind of gets it flipped back on him, like he's sort of hunting them down, but turns out the company was kind of making him into the scapegoat or the patsy or whatever. So it's another one that kind of like flips itself at the end. And um for my personal taste, still feels a little bit dated, kind of in the same way that the conversation did, but I ended up liking it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was looking at this director.
Mhm.
This is Alan Pakula,
Mhm.
not a name I recognize, but it seems like this is just what he does. He has like All the President's Men,
Mhm.
Pelican Brief, Clute. I think these are all like political conspiracy thrillers. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, they're all conspiracy thrillers for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all political, but
Yeah. I'm interested enough. Like I like the Parallax View enough that I'm like, okay, I'd watch more of his movies. Like it was cool.
yeah. Yeah, Clute is not a political movie for sure,
Gotcha.
but it is uh does have elements of conspiracy thriller. But certainly all the President's Men, Parallax View.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple more. There's like 3 movies he has that I think they consider like his political trilogy.
Gotcha.
They're not tied together, but they came out like in the same decade
Yeah.
of his making movies. So that's a good one for sure. My number 8 is from 2023. It's a movie titled Reality, which is based on a true story. This movie stars Sydney Sweeney and Josh Hamilton, amongst others. And she plays Reality Winner, I think is her name. That's a real person's name. And she was, who did she work for? The FBI? Yeah, I don't remember. She works for the government in what do they call it when you're in information, like spy information? You're in
CIA?
intelligence.
Intelligence. Yeah. There you go.
She works for some kind of intelligence agency, and this really happened. She
Oh, this is a true story?
yeah, this is a true story. She stole documents from the government after James Comey was fired by Donald Trump in 2017. 25 days later, a bunch of documents showed up on in like a news article, and they're like, this is classified information. Like, how did this reporter get this information? They traced it all the way back to her. She's just like a career government employee with like an impeccable record who was pissed off about Donald Trump and James Comey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who
Wow.
believed she knew something that the American public should know. And
Mm-hmm.
so she gave it to a reporter who wrote an article about it, and then they arrested her for it. So the movie, pretty much the vast majority of the movie, is her coming home from the grocery store and there being FBI agents at her door.
Wow.
And so the FBI agents kind of like go in the house with her, and they're trying not to talk to her about why they're there, but everybody knows why they're there. And they're basically ransacking her house to try to get proof that it was her, more proof than they already had. And meanwhile, she's outside and in the garage, kind of staying out of the house, talking to these two specific FBI agents, and they're gently questioning her without her really realizing that they're questioning her. And she is just an awkward computer nerd who wants to be liked, I would say. And it's Sydney Sweeney, who's certainly an attractive person, but they have definitely made her nerdy. You know what I mean? They have muted that part of her for sure. And is really one of the, I don't watch whatever show she's on. I forget the name of it. I don't watch that
Euphoria.
Show. Yeah. I have seen her in a couple movies. But I've never seen her like she is in this movie. Like in this movie, she's just not, there's no playing on her looks. You know what I mean? It's all just pure acting. And it's like three people around a house just having discussions. There is no dressing other than the pure acting, essentially.
Yeah.
Playing out of scenes. And it's really well done. Super interesting. The questions, the conspiracy element is like they are desperate to prove that she has a bigger reason for doing this other than the reasons she said she did it, which is that bad things were happening and she thought the American people deserved to know. And so she risked her job doing it and lost her job and went to prison for 4 years because of it. Yeah.
I don't know how I haven't heard of this real life story. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds really, really interesting. How do you feel about like Sydney Sweeney's performance just being in something that, like you said, is dressed down and really is just about her acting? Because like, I feel like I can't decide whether or not Sydney Sweeney is a good actor. The only things I've seen her in are like, I have seen some of Euphoria. I've seen that rom-com with what's his name that came out, I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever.
Okay.
The Top Gun guy.
Right. The one that's out right now?
No.
Was there an earlier one?
It's like 2 years ago.
Okay.
What is that movie
Anyone
called?
But You?
Anyone But You. Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
I never saw Madam Web, but everyone pretty much agrees that it's not good. I assume the acting isn't great either. So I don't know. What do you think about Sydney Sweeney? Is she a good actress?
I would have said that I hadn't seen her in anything that gave me the impression that she was anything more than a normal actress. You know what I mean? Until reality.
Cool. Okay.
Until I saw this movie, and then I was like, she's not like she didn't make me a fan for life or anything. It was not that kind of performance. Yeah. She's literally playing a character that's muted. You know what I mean? Who is introverted. So it's not a big performance, but it is exactly what the movie needed it to be. And I watched some interview clips of the real reality winner after seeing the movie, and she pretty much nailed exactly how that person talks and how she acted on the talk shows. Very similar to how she was in the movie. So
sweet.
I guess the long answer to your short question is pretty good actress in this movie.
Cool. I'll check it out for the Sydney Sweeney performance. Cool. Okay. What is this? Number 8?
Yes.
I have Annihilation from 2018.
Okay.
Directed by Alex Garland. So this is obviously one that it doesn't quite fit like the conspiracy part necessarily, but man, I really, really love Annihilation a ton. And I know you guys have talked about it on the podcast like a bunch, and Zach is absolutely crazy for not liking this movie. But I love Alex Garland a lot. So when this movie was like in production, I saw it was like based on a book. So I read the book series, and the connective tissue here with Bugonia is sort of the alien thing. In Annihilation, there's essentially like a dome, I guess you could say, like where the laws of like physics and nature are not normal, and it's sort of like it's spreading out and it's taking over like wildlife and plants and things like that. So Natalie Portman leads like a team that's going to go into this. I think they call it like Area X or something like that, and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
investigate exactly what's going on. And I remember when I read the book, the last like act. Uh, I knew the movie was coming out, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, how in the world are they gonna transfer this to a movie? Like, I don't know how you film this or how you present it. Like, I can't even like imagine it in my brain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But they totally nailed it. Like that ending sequence is unbelievable. Like some of the coolest like visual effects and imagery in a movie. And Natalie Portman's awesome. The story's great. It's just like a sci-fi banger. I love Annihilation. I'm obsessed with this movie. But you guys have talked about it a ton, so
Yeah, the
it's awesome.
the squealing bear scene is just burned into my brain.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never get it out of my brain.
So in the book, that's like even more intense because it mimics the sound of her friend that is like dying. So like
Mm-hmm.
her friend is like screaming as she's dying. The bear is mimicking that sound, and she like finds a safe spot, like it's like a tower, um, where she like can't be attacked by the bear or whatever. So she goes up there, and it's like sort of circling around all night, just making that noise, like the
Mm.
noise of her screaming friend back to her all night. She has to sit there and listen to it until the
Oh
bear
my
gets
gosh.
bored and wanders away. It's crazy.
The only thing that I don't like about that movie is I felt like there were other. Since you've read the book, are there other animals that like they just skipped over in the movie that they
Yeah,
go
there's
into in the
like
book?
it's pretty well established in the book. Like this effect is like it's taking over everything. So like
Mm-hmm.
all the plants are different, all the animals are different. There's like I even like don't even necessarily fully understand it. There's a thing where like the whatever the area is or whatever is like reflecting things back from like the where the source is. Remember it like is sourced in like the lighthouse or something like that.
Hmm.
Um
I don't. Oh, yes, I remember that
anyways,
now.
it's like whatever the source of it is, like reflecting that back into the world. So like there's plants that are growing in this tunnel, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like growing in the shapes of words that are like in a book or something like that that's at the lighthouse. So like
Hmm.
she's like walking through this tunnel and seeing plants like write out words on the wall. I don't know. It's awesome. It's like
Hmm.
mind blowing in a really cool way.
All right. Yeah, I always felt like with that movie, I could just see them leaving a lot on the table
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And there's three
because
books.
it's a
They're all pretty
movie.
short, but yeah.
All right.
I think they did like the best job I can think of though. Like I don't know how
Sure.
you translate all of that onto screen, so like what they did was awesome.
Yeah, I like it. I'm waiting to find a good deal on the 4K. That'll be my next rewatch when I finally get it on 4K.
Nice.
All right, my number 7, the aforementioned All the President's Men from 1976,
Cool.
which is the Watergate movie about the two reporters who broke that story, or had a hand in breaking that story, amongst a bunch of Nixon related stories that they broke. They basically became the guys known for taking down Nixon over the course of several stories. This movie starring Robert Redford and what's his name? Dustin Hoffman. And yeah, I mean it's a I don't know, journalism procedural, I would say. Well, kind of half that and half well, that mainly focuses on them, definitely. And it kind of not necessarily set the formula, but perfected the formula for those types of movies.
Yeah.
Certainly, Watergate was a conspiracy. Even over the course of them reporting it, a lot of weird stuff happened to them to try to keep the lid on some of the things that were going on at the time. And yeah, I mean, this is one of those that's a classic for a reason. It's one of those that I watched knowing it was well respected and I understand why. It's very well made for sure. I mean, I put it in the same boat as like Spotlight or some of the newer ones.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's much better than those. I think it was
Mhm.
the first one though to really set the formula and do it well all at the same
Right.
time. And you're like in this time period in the mid 70s, I think, where I don't know, I kind of feel like it from the mid 60s to the mid 70s, you've got mainstream Hollywood making pretty cheesy movies, and then you've got this undercurrent of filmmakers that are making kind of dramas type of thing, and they are changing the way film is presented in American cinemas, essentially.
Interesting.
Eventually blockbusters adopted that style,
right,
because a lot of those directors became the blockbuster directors. But yeah, All the President's Men is definitely in that world of changing the acting style and the presentation of Hollywood films. So yeah, my number 7, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Awesome. Okay, my number 7 is The Wicker Man.
Okay, I've never seen this.
Yeah, so I watched the 1973 one. There was a remake with Nick Cage that I sort of heard was bad, but man, I really, really liked The Wicker Man a lot. So now I'm like sort of curious to see the Nick Cage one just as a novelty, I guess. But yeah, The Wicker Man was awesome. So this is there's like a small island off of Scotland, I believe, and there's like an entire community on the island of Scotland, and or off this island, and there's a mainland police officer that gets a letter in the mail that says a girl from the island has gone missing. So he like flies out there and he's gonna investigate, what happened to this girl that went missing. And pretty much right away, when he gets to the island and sort of just starts questioning the locals about what's going on, like they're saying like, "Oh, I've never heard of that girl. She's not from here. She must be from the mainland. Like we don't know who she is." But he has her name, so he goes to like the family that supposedly is her family, and is like, "Hey, is your daughter missing?" He's trying to investigate what's going on, and every single person on the island is just not giving him anything at all. On top of that, they have like a different religion. So like he's like a Christian, a super devout Christian in the movie, and the people on the island are like straight up pagans. They're doing like, it's showing sort of like rituals that they're doing for their religion where they're like, they have ladies who want to get pregnant. They're like naked jumping over fire, and they're like, "Oh, the fire is going to make us fruitful and we'll be able to have babies." And there's like kids that they're like wrapping this like ribbon around these trees and singing all these songs. There's like these crazy songs in this movie that are they're really awesome, but they're like religious songs for these pagans that are on this island. There's one where he's in the inn and the innkeeper tells his daughter to take the police character to his room. And so she comes downstairs to take him to his room. And everyone in the inn starts like playing instruments and singing about how beautiful the innkeeper's daughter is. And like, it's kind of like, it gets a little bit crass, but it's funny. So anyways, right away, this whole thing, he's just like, man, something weird is going on. And he's essentially trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, these people are covering something up, right? Saruman from Lord of the Rings plays the like head of the island, and this is from 73. So he's like super young. Yeah. And like he
probably in his 30s, I would guess.
Looks completely different. His voice isn't quite as like deep and distinct. Like you can tell it's him, but
Christopher Lee.
Yes, there it is. I maybe wouldn't have known if I didn't see once I logged the movie. But anyways, a lot of the imagery in here is like very, very reminiscent of like Midsummer. I think for sure had to have taken a lot of inspiration from Wicker Man. So I ended up really, really loving this. Like it, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this has to be a movie that inspired a lot of other things that we have now uh, today, you know? So
Hmm.
it was a first time watch for me. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely goes places. The one bummer is like the poster has this really, really cool part of the movie from the very end, like the
Hmm.
very end. And I knew like this was the image of the Wicker Man that I had in my head was like the thing on the poster.
Is it the
I'm like,
bee helmet?
not the bee helmet, no.
Okay.
It's a giant man made out of like sticks, like
Oh, okay.
huge, huge thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like, man, I wish they wouldn't put that on the poster because like I would have been in awe when I saw it at the end of the movie.
Sure.
Um,
I've never seen that one. I've never seen the whatever.
Nick
What's
Cage.
Nick Cage one? But all I know about those movies are the bee helmet thing.
It's not in the original, so I don't know
Okay.
anything about a bee helmet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should
Cool.
check it out.
Cool.
It was awesome.
It's on my list because it's kind of a classic, like horror thriller type of thing, cult
Yeah,
movie, essentially.
yeah,
Yeah, I just
yeah. It
haven't
was
gotten to it
interesting
yet.
because they show a few scenes of him like back on his homeland, and um he's like taking communion and just sort of showing like different I guess you could say rituals that take place in Christianity. And then when he's
Mhm.
on this island, the entire thing, it's like, I mean, these people are crazy. Like they're doing all these like wild rituals and they're like naked all the time, like whole thing. And he is so like uncomfortable with the whole is like this is like blasphemy and how dare you guys. But anyways, I had the thought while I was watching. I'm like, I wonder if like an alien saw like normal Christian um, rituals like communion, if they would think the same thing, like this is insane, these people are crazy, but we're like so conditioned to just like it's like normal in our society, you know?
Sure,
I thought that was kind of interesting.
could be. All right, I would say I added to my list, but it's already on there.
Oh,
So
well, there you go.
just got to get to it. All right. My number 6 is from 2019. It's another one based on a true story. It's called The Report, which is another one that like is
Adam Driver.
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if you had never heard of it. It's felt like it went way underground for some reason. Wasn't a big deal at all, but I enjoyed it a lot. Again, stars Adam Driver, Annette Bening's in this, John Hamm, Michael C. Hall, Corey Stoll from what's that show? On Netflix. It was one of Netflix's first shows, House of Cards. Yeah, it's a good one. It's about this guy named Daniel Jones who is tasked to write a report about the effectiveness of torture performed by the CIA on potential members of Al Qaeda to get information during the war on terror.
Oh, okay, I do know about this.
Yeah, if you remember in the early 2010s, the Senate or somebody in the government released a report that was like 1,000 pages or something insane that basically concluded that the torture that was or the intelligence that was attributed to torture programs conducted by the CIA to get things such as like Osama bin Laden's, whereabouts, amongst other, less famous information that was attributed to a torture program, when in reality, that information did not come from the torture program.
Yeah.
It could very easily be traced to other things. And so the CIA is definitely, and the government in general, is invested in being right about using torture. And he is tasked to get to the truth. You know what I mean? If they're right, they're right. But if they're wrong, we want to know that too, type of thing. And so that's his attitude. He, gets a budget from the government to conduct this investigation. He's got, a room full of essentially data nerds in working on computers in like an intensely secure environment because he doesn't want anybody in the government knowing what they're thinking, what they're looking at, what they know, what they don't know, because anytime any piece of information leaks, that path just gets shut down. Whatever that means, it gets shut down. And so he becomes very paranoid about it. Security gets real tight around the investigation itself and becomes highly politicized at the same time. In the meantime, it's Adam Driver, and he's just kind of at the middle of this. He's not that he acts big, but he's appropriate for his character for sure. He's just very methodical and driven to get to the truth. And any roadblock that somebody who has other motivations that's put in front of him, he figures a way around it. And it's a good one. I mean, from a thriller perspective, it's probably less thrilling than most of these. I don't remember any like chase scenes or fights on blimps or, you know what I mean? Some of the other things that are in some of these movies.
Yeah.
But as a true story being told, I think as faithfully as they could in the amount of time they had, it sucked me in for sure. And I enjoyed it. Check it out if you haven't.
Awesome. I don't think you've had a movie yet that I haven't added to my watch list. That's cool.
Nice. These are all fun so far. There's none of them that I would say are boring.
Okay, number 6.
Yep.
The Game from 1997. This is a Fincher movie. So this is Michael Douglas, and he's like he's kind of like an uptight banker sort that's like seems to not have much going on in his life. He's like pretty unhappy, and he like reconnects with his brother, I think.
Okay.
Who gives him like a ticket to this game and basically says it's totally unique. It's unlike anything you've done before. You're going to go to this like office. They're going to, give you this interview or whatever. And they're going to decide if you can play the game. Right. So he goes and like goes through this test. It's super long. It's like a health and like psych eval and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, okay, nope, sorry, you don't qualify. So you can't play the game. So from there, the movie becomes essentially like, is he like playing this crazy game, or is all of this stuff kind of just like happening to him and he's crazy? And it goes like so many like crazy places. There's like a part where he gets buried alive and wakes up in like Mexico or something like that. He like gets driven to like jump off of a building, like all this crazy stuff that is like there's an anchor on the news that he's sitting there watching the news, and then the anchor like starts talking directly to him like through the news and tells him that like there's a camera in his house, all this kind of crazy stuff. So this is another one similar to Bugonia where like I just flip-flopped the whole way through the movie on like, is this all part of an elaborate game? Like, yeah, it must be. Otherwise, why would this crazy stuff happen to him? Like, is it all nefarious? Like, are they trying to like kill him, or is it actually just for fun? What is actually happening? And I did not really see the ending coming necessarily, so it kind of has that going for it too. So, yeah, it's really really fun just the entire way through. It's like an adrenaline rush or whatever, and I am so impressed by this being like one of Fincher's early-ish movies, and I mean he just didn't miss like for his entire career. I mean, Alien 3 people don't like, but I can't think of anything else that like 7 was right before this, and then The Game, and then I don't know. I just feel like he cranked out bangers for his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, The Game to me is like lesser Fincher, but just like Yorgos, it's the problem of me comparing it to the rest of his filmography. You know what I mean? Like the moment I say 7 and Fight Club, maybe Gone Girl, those are like top 3. And then The Game is somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? And so unfortunately it gets punished because the top is so high. You know what I mean?
I gave it 4 stars. I mean, I came to it so much later. I mean, I watched this for the first time maybe a year ago, maybe a little longer than that. But
sure.
So I mean, I feel like I'm like far enough removed from the other Fincher things that I like that
Mm-hmm.
I could sort of watch it on its own in that way. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it and I don't remember like all the details, but there were parts that were like, I'm expecting like this segment where he's running from these people who are trying to kill him, or whatever. I'm like, I'm expecting this to be like a dream sequence or something, or like,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, I don't know. A lot of it actually kind of feels like a fever dream the whole time you're watching it. And so you really just, it does such a good job of making sure that the audience does not know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it really, really fun to watch. So
Nice.
yeah,
It's
it's
a good
great.
one.
The game.
Cool. My number 5 is from 1998. I feel like there's a lot of 1998. This is the second 1998 movie on this list. Enemy of the State.
Uh,
Which of all these movies on my list anyway, is probably the most accessible. Enemy of the State is, a Will Smith conspiracy thriller, essentially. This is during the time that he was breaking out into becoming a big star. You're talking like Independence Day and I, Robot and all those kinds of movies. This is in the mix with those. Enemy of the State, speaking of Gene Hackman, he's in this as well.
Oh, nice.
He plays kind of the handler. I don't remember exactly what Will Smith's character is. If he's like an FBI agent or something like that. He is a NSA agent, I think.
Nice.
Anyway, in the movie, no, I take it back. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer who finds out some important piece of information, and then he gets chased around by NSA agents,
Gotcha.
of which at the time, remember, 1998. So this is pre everybody having GPS or like, basically having devices on us that intentionally surveil us 24/7. I mean, at this point, like people are letting it track their heartbeats 24/7. So you couldn't possibly give somebody more information about you than whether you're alive or not all the time. But anyway, in 1998, that was fodder for a conspiracy thriller. And there's lots of shots of like a GPS, like they put a GPS tracker on him and they're like, again, before Google Maps. So the graphics on the screen are like showing the Google Maps. They're like zooming in on license plates and they're like, the JPEGs are getting better and better until you can actually read the license plate. Of course. Stuff like that. Very cliched stuff, but it's super fun, relatively big budget action thriller that happens to have like this weird conspiracy paranoia thriller around or wrapper around it. And it's one that doesn't come up in the conversation too much when people are talking Will Smith movies, but I think it's a guilty pleasure for the people that know what it is for sure. Enemy of the State. Check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, I mean it's got a 3.5 on Letterboxd, so
super
sure
easy Saturday afternoon watch.
Great.
You know what I mean? You can turn off your brain and just let it wash over you. It'll be fine.
Awesome. Number 5, I think. Hot Fuzz, 2007.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even
Edgar
consider
Wright.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love Hot Fuzz. This is, a comedian or a comedy, sorry, with, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and their gang teamed up with Edgar Wright. The funniest thing is like the conspiracy in this movie is just that everyone in this small town wants to win the like best small town contest or whatever, so they don't want like bad things to happen, so they just go unreported or whatever. But this is like endlessly quotable. I have, a bunch of friends in high school that we all watch this movie over and over and over again. And so, it's one of those comedies that you watch with a group of friends. You all thought it was hilarious. You pick up on quotes and, use them completely out of context, but your one friend knows what you're saying. So,
Sure. Absolutely.
so yeah, anyways, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are cops that go to a small town. It's kind of funny. This actually almost has like the exact same plot as Wicker Man, now that I think about it. They go to a little tiny town trying to investigate crime, and everyone in the entire town's like, nope, that doesn't happen here. None of those things are true. And they're not getting anything, no help from them. And then they start to uncover the conspiracy of what's going on. I think I remember when we were in Chicago, didn't you tell me that you got to see this in the town that they filmed it?
Yeah. Yeah. In Somerset, England, which is like, you were recently in London. It's like maybe 2.5 hours west of London.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little tiny small town. Yeah. I got to see it. The castle where they hold the ritual.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it where the block falls off and like smashes someone?
Yeah. In that courtyard is where they projected the
so
movie.
Cool.
Yeah. And it had a, like a custom introduction from Edgar Wright, who filmed it, like on his iPhone in LA for the screening. I was hoping he'd be there or somebody from the movie would be there.
Right.
But wasn't so. But yeah, I literally went from London to there, stayed in an Airbnb to literally see the movie.
Watch the movie. That's awesome. I mean, it's a good story.
Yeah. Then I had one day there and then stayed another night in the Airbnb and went right back to London.
Right back to London. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. I love these guys. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright. I mean, Shaun of the Dead, World's End. Even like the first Ant-Man was supposed to be Edgar Wright and ended up not being or whatever, but like has that sort of same sense of humor. So like,
you could tell his fingerprints were all over that movie.
Yeah. So if that's like anyone's sense of humor, then they would love Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good one. I'm kind of bummed that trio isn't really making movies together anymore. I assume they'll knock out at least one more before they're done, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
I kind of wish and dread that they will do another Shaun of the Dead movie. Like one that
like a sequel?
Now it's like 30 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these characters, which of them are still losers, which of them aren't, you know what I mean? Type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do it. Kind of now it's 30 years after the zombie apocalypse and like most of the zombies have been gotten rid of or something, or I don't know.
Yeah. Could be good.
I'm not the idea guy here.
But take it up the chain, man. Get someone to do it. Come on.
Actually, don't do that. Just the three of them make a brand new movie, kind of like they did with the Cornetto trilogy. You know what I mean? Just make a fourth and call it
do another one.
Cornetto quadrilogy or something.
Did you see Nick Frost is playing Hagrid in the Harry Potter TV show?
I did hear about that. Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'm
into it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be awesome. He looks cool. I saw a couple like set photos or whatever. He looks cool as Hagrid.
Looks the part.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. My number 4 is probably the most boring movie on my list, but I was riveted by it because I have an obsession with the assassination of JFK. The movie JFK from 1991, directed by Oliver Stone, is a really long courtroom drama, mostly courtroom drama. It's a lot of courtroom and a lot of like backroom Washington D.C. meetings, essentially, between like shady figures, information being passed and forth, lots of like espionage type stuff. And it's really good, but it's also pretty long. The director's cut, which I swear by, is 205 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you sit down to watch it just because you want to watch a movie, it probably won't be for you. You kind of have to be like, okay.
You got to commit.
Yeah. You got to either commit in one shot or you got to accept that like you're going to watch this until you're tired of it. And then you shut it off and you come back to it later.
There you go.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fine. You know, I think even Oliver Stone would be like, as long as you watch it, I don't care. it's a good one. It definitely has the basic facts of the Kennedy assassination correct, and then also peppers in a bunch of theories here and there without really a strong opinion on what's true and what's not. It's more just kind of presenting all the information, true or not, that was passed around, centering on JFK at the time in 1991. Since then, there's been like other theories. Some have taken hold, some have passed. So there's stuff in here that like they theorize that even people who are obsessed with this no longer believe, just because the movie's 30 plus years old at this point. But really, there's nothing in it that they state that's factual that like has changed since then. So if you just need a fast education on JFK and all the players and the basics of it, it does a pretty good job of presenting information that's fact and mixed in with information that's fiction and never really blurring the line, which made it unsatisfying for conspiracy theorists who thought he was going to take a stand on what he believed, and he doesn't really do that. And also frustrated people who aren't conspiracy theorists because there was so much conspiracy in there that it blurs the lines in a way that they're not comfortable with. So bottom line, I think most people who have seen this, who have lived with it since its release, like it because the cast is insane in it.
Okay, I was going to bring that up if you didn't. I just pulled it up on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones, Gary Oldman, Kevin Bacon, Michael Rooker, Jack Lemmon, Sissy Spacek, Joe Pesci, John Candy, Donald Sutherland, Vincent D'Onofrio. There's a whole bunch of other names. Those are the highlights. That is nuts. That's so many huge names.
At the time, he basically got like every male between 30 and 60. You know what I mean? He got them to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, and they're all used well and interestingly. Like seeing John Candy on the screen never cracks a joke. Pretty weird, for sure. I think he died shortly after this too, and he was hoping this would be like a platform for him to be in more serious movies.
Oh, really?
He just never quite got there. But yeah, the cast is insane, and it's very well acted. It's a good courtroom drama that has one scene in particular that's like so memorable that like they did SNL sketches about it. You know, it was everywhere. If you've never seen the movie, you've probably heard some of the things that were said in the movie.
Back and to the left, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Never seen it, but I'm into some conspiracy theories, and JFK is one that's always going to be interesting, you know, one way or the other. So I do need to get around to seeing the movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this, you should definitely check it out. And just don't be afraid to pause it midway and come back to it. It's fine. It's
totally. Yeah. Cool. Number 4, I have Eyes Wide Shut. 1999, Stanley Kubrick. You know what's crazy? So I've actually only seen Eyes Wide Shut once, and I was pretty like enthralled by it and put it into my top 100 and then never watched it again. And I really don't remember like a ton of like what actually like happens in the movie, but like I am not bothered by really like any subject matter in a movie ever, like gore, horror, like, you know, sexual situations, whatever. Like it doesn't bother me, but for some reason it just like disturbed me, this movie, in a way that like I still really, really liked it. And you know, it got like an emotional reaction out of me, which obviously is, you know, kind of the goal. So man, everyone knows Eyes Wide Shut, right? My memory of the actual details are like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, they were married at the time in real life when this movie was made, I think. Anyways, she says something about wanting to like cheat on him, and then he becomes like obsessed with, I don't know, like finding someone to cheat on his wife with or something like that, and stumbles across like a sexual like secret society. And like, of course, that's the part of the movie that's just like burned into my brain, because I'm like, it's not maybe meant to be like, I don't know, disturbing, or like it was playing like a horror movie to me, and it's not a horror movie, but just see like him walking through the
Hmm.
where the meeting of the conspiracy, or not conspiracy, the secret society is, walking through all the rooms and seeing, yeah, it's just like, dude, this is terrifying, and I can't even quite pinpoint why, but
It's because you're waiting for him to get found out, and you don't know how far these people are going to take things
yeah,
because they're already pretty outside the societal norm, I would say.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically the plot. I mean, if you haven't seen it in a while, you pretty much remember the plot of it.
Oh, okay,
It's
great.
like this couple's having marriage problems, and she's fantasizing and vocalizing to him about
Yeah.
how much she wants to cheat on him,
Right.
essentially. And it's hard to tell if she's trying to like turn him on with this discussion or if she's trying to
Gotcha.
make him mad about it.
Yeah,
And he decides that he's going to do it first, essentially,
right.
but doesn't really know how to do it and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he thinks he finds a way to do it without strings attached, and it turns out that it's more complicated than he thought.
Yeah. I seem to remember like a long stretch where he's kind of like wandering around New York City or something, and like is a little bit aimless, and like is trying to find out, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pull it off? And then it like takes such a turn where like, oh wow, you're not just like finding a way to cheat on your wife. You found like a sex cult, and like you're going to the absolute extreme that you possibly can. I think that's what
Yeah.
like got me when I watched it, because it was just like not what I was expecting or something. But anyways, it sounds like I don't like the movie. I did. It sat with me, but it's know what you're getting into for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's a good one. It's nudity. That's pretty much the only thing offensive in the movie.
Sure, but they're all
is the
wearing
nudity.
masks, and I don't know, dude. It's just
To me, okay. As far as content goes, I'm like you. I can watch just about anything. I have a hard time with like torture
Mhm.
and sexual assault. Those are like the things that make me not want to watch a movie again.
Yeah.
Not in all situations, but especially if it's like presented in a very realistic way, or if like justice is not served,
Mm-hmm.
then I will walk away from a movie and be like, I can respect it for its artistic merits, but I don't need to see that again, type of thing.
Yeah.
But generally with nudity, whatever. It's all fake. It's just bodies. Who gives a crap? That's kind of how I feel about gore too. You know what I mean? Like I could never watch Faces of Death or something like where the line is blurred between real, like some of that stuff's real. I wouldn't even hit play on it.
Yeah.
But if I know it's a Freddy movie and it's 100% fake, then I could care less. Yeah, I could care less. So, Eyes Wide Shut, I think, is personally not a great movie.
Oh, really?
But everybody who's making it, I have so much respect for, and they're all doing what they're going to do in this very specific movie. I just think the movie's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a problem with the quality of the movie, or when people love it, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Again, I keep coming back to this, but Kubrick has like 4 movies before I would even start thinking about Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
So it's not that Eyes Wide Shut is bad. It's just always going to feel like the 5th movie.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
I like it for the fact that it fits into this like really weird subgenre that I don't even know like what you would call it, but I described like Tom Cruise just kind of like wandering around from scene to scene sort of aimlessly, and it's all like fever dream-ish, The next movie, or one of the other movies on my list, is very, very similar. Like Big Lebowski even is kind of like that. There's a little bit of like Lynchian vibes in some of these things that like
Sure.
they all feel a little aimless. They feel like almost dreamlike. As soon as there's some of that going on, I'm in. Like I love that weird little subgenre, not even knowing what it is. But
Sure.
um, so that's probably part of the reason I like the movie.
Nice. I like it too. I think I've seen it twice. Once in the theater and then once maybe on DVD or something like that.
Yeah.
And pretty much the same movie both times.
Nice.
I enjoy it. The idea that like Kubrick showed it to Cruise and Kidman
Mhm.
and then died like a week later.
Yeah, I think I read that he was even still working on some like post-production. Like
Mhm.
he it was pretty much done, but there were, whatever tweaks that he wanted to make, and then yeah, he passed away and didn't get to finish it. Like
Yeah.
it's finished, but not.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was like 95% there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so this is the last one that you could really say was like his,
Yeah.
mostly his vision for sure. Cool. All right. We are on number 3, which is a movie from 1974, and it is the aforementioned Parallax View, which you've already
nice.
talked about. Yeah.
Cool.
I like this movie. I came to it over the course of this podcast, so within the last 10, 11 years or so. And I enjoyed it. Great conspiracy thriller. Kind of like borderline spy-ish movie, but without a lot of action until the very end. It's very like normal until I don't know. It's more about the conspiracy than thriller until the very end. Yeah. That political rally scene is so good, and the twist of him realizing that like he is the mission is so good. Then they go out on the blimp.
Yeah.
And the effects are very 70s on the blimp.
Yeah.
Like it's
same with the beginning on Space Needle. Like the guy that like they're like fighting, and he punches him and he sort of like slides down. Oh yeah, same thing. It's like then that's at the very beginning of the movie. It feels dated.
Yeah, there's a couple things whenever they go outside, like a normal shooting environment, it kind of falls apart because the green screen work just wasn't as good back then. But overall, like if you like political thrillers, I think Parallax View is like in the 10 that you have to see. As far as I'm concerned.
Can you the scene that I was trying to describe where they're like indoctrinating him with all the like American imagery? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I felt like I wasn't describing it well, but like that is the other one that is so like memorable to me from this movie, and like just the imagery again like burned into my brain.
Yeah, I could see that. Just reading from the Wikipedia article, They give him montages of disturbingly edited and subliminal still photographs and images that juxtapose pro and anti-American attitudes.
Gotcha. So it's pro and anti.
Yep, pro and anti. So very confusing messages.
And mixed in with disturbing images. Is that what it says?
Still photographs and images that juxtapose pro and anti-American attitudes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway. Parallax View made both our lists. Go check it out.
All right. Okay. My number 3 is Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Yeah, I really, really love Rosemary's Baby. I feel like this movie should be the like poster definition for the term gaslighting, because this entire movie is just Mia Farrow being like gaslit by a Satanist cult that she's crazy, when she's like, no, you guys are literally trying to steal my baby. And again, it's similar to Bugonia, where like it's fun to watch as the audience, because you're like, that she's probably not crazy, and they are like gaslighting her through the entire thing, but there's enough in the movie that you do sort of again wonder like what exactly is going on. It makes it super fun. But Um, yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Rosemary's Baby, but yeah, she and her husband, right? They like move into a new building, and the person who was a tenant before them was like a witch or something like that. Like she was like doing like I don't know, rituals or spells or something, and
Hmm.
all the neighbors in the apartment building are all like yeah, old Satanists basically. And they want to have a baby and the Satanists want to steal it. And
Hmm.
that's what happens in the movie. And it's a wild ride. I love it. Um, I have a sort of funny story
Yeah.
about Rosemary's Baby. I was telling a friend about it not long after I saw it. We were like going out to dinner somewhere, and I was just telling him, oh, I watched this movie. I loved it a lot. I'm like, it's really, really funny. Anytime I've brought it up since then, if you bring up Rosemary's Baby, someone who's seen it is always going to tell you, like, oh, yeah, dude, that is a cool movie. But man, the guy who made it, Roman Polanski, is like the worst person ever. Like,
Sure.
I'm like, you just can't get away from it. Like, someone will always bring it up. So we sit down to like start eating at this restaurant, and our waiter like overheard us, and he's like, oh, what movie are you talking about? I'm like, oh, Rosemary's Baby, it's so good. And no joke, without skipping a beat, he's like, yeah, that is a good movie, but that Roman Polanski's a real piece of crap or whatever. Like
Yeah.
just textbook. Right after I got done telling my friend about it, it was so funny. We were
Sure.
like dying laughing.
Huh. That's the best. When real life proves you wrong in the moment, or proves you right in the
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
great.
I have the same issue with the pianist, right? Roman Polanski. It's like the
Oh, is that
last.
also that's also him?
That's also him. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's so ridiculously well made
Mm-hmm.
that I have a real hard time ignoring the fact that he directed it, but I can't
Yeah.
not ignore that.
Yeah.
Um or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying, but
No, I hear you.
and it's
It's
like the
hard.
last movie that like Hollywood accepted him
Mm,
for. Like people were already it was in the air, right? That people didn't
yeah.
like him. And they made the pianist, and he got nominated for Best Director at the Academy
Mm,
Awards. He couldn't even come to the United States without getting arrested. And so
yeah.
like that's
Yikes.
kind of when I learned who Roman Polanski was, and like
Right.
his controversies and stuff like that. And after that, Hollywood pretty much was like, okay, we're not making. He can go make movies in Europe, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
distribute them if they're good, but you're not making them
We're done
with
with this
our money
guy.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, which is weird because The Pianist is so good. That should be the movie that makes the rest of your career. In a weird
Right.
way, it kind of killed his career. He got too high profile for them to continue funding his stuff.
Yikes. Is that
Yeah.
did Adam Brody win Best Actor for that?
Adrian Brody, yes.
Adrian Brody. Who's
Yeah.
Adam Brody?
Adam Brody was in One Tree Hill. And
Oh.
he's also been in movies too, but none that
Yeah.
I can remember. But I think Adam Brody maybe was in the Christopher Nolan movie with all the young guys in World War II.
Dunkirk.
Yeah, I think he might have been one of the Dunkirk
Gotcha.
soldiers, and he's been in other stuff. I might be completely wrong about that.
Oh.
He's one of those guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like,
Yeah.
got famous for something way lesser, but shows up in things here and
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby. That's a good one. Have you seen that of what's the name of it? Reopen closed tab. This is worth it. Have you seen his other classic? Since we're talking about Roman Polanski movies, you probably shouldn't watch, but should because it's actually good. Repulsion.
No, I've never heard of it.
You should.
Well,
check it out.
actually, that's not true
Repulsion.
because I think it was probably on maybe one of those lists that you sent me. But
Could
yeah,
be.
cool.
This is not a conspiracy thriller, but if you liked Rosemary's Baby,
Mm-hmm.
Repulsion.
Okay.
It's very good. Very, very good.
Cool.
He has too many bangers for sure.
Yeah. Also,
Ooh.
I mean, Chinatown, I guess that's like an absolute like stone cold classic of like old Hollywood, right? I've never seen it. I don't really know anything about it, but obviously it's that movie for a reason. So I gotta check it out at some point.
Absolutely. Speaking of Chinatown, my number 2 is Chinatown.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've heard one of us talk about Chinatown.
Yep.
This movie comes up for sure, but it's 1974. Again, directed by Roman Polanski, starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway, amongst others. Jack Nicholson plays like a private eye. I don't remember exactly why he's hired, but he's hired by somebody in the movie. Okay. The Faye Dunaway character hires him. He's a private investigator to trail her husband, who happens to be an engineer for the city of Los Angeles who works on like infrastructure. So like roadways, sewer system, just anything you could think of, the power grid, that type of stuff. And so I believe she asks to trail him because she thinks he's cheating. And then over the course of it, he realizes that, yeah, he's probably cheating, but he's also like a bad guy who is doing things with the government, like espionage, blackmail-y type stuff from my loose memory of the movie. I don't remember the exact details, but you're basically traveling with this private investigator who thinks he's looking into one thing and then just kind of unravels more and more conspiracy and realizes, oh, this is much bigger than me just trying to help this lady out with her truth. I need to find out about all these other things.
Right.
And it's set in an environment in an LA that's like not flourishing. And so he's connecting dots to like maybe some reasons why in the government things aren't going well because of corruption and things like that. And like, yeah, there's a lot of like conspiracy elements to it where he'll hear something about somebody and then go chase down that to find out if it's true or if it's just, you know, a conspiracy. Yeah, it's really good. There's a reason why people talk about this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's well made. It stands up for the most part. Yeah. And what's his name? Jack Nicholson is amazing in it. And he, for like half the movie, he has like a giant bandage on his nose.
Oh yeah, I was seeing that on the Letterboxd like banner or whatever. I couldn't even tell if it was him actually.
I won't even spoil why he has it on his nose because it's a great scene in the movie.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a good one. Check it out.
Sounds like something I would like. Okay, my number 2, right? Under the Silver Lake, 2018.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
David
Definitely.
Robert Mitchell. This is with Andrew Garfield as like the main character. So Andrew Garfield, like he lives in like an apartment complex and he's kind of like going nowhere with his life, you know, just sort of like bumming around. And he lives in Hollywood or Los Angeles, I guess. And anyways, so one night he meets a girl at the pool of his apartment complex and like hits it off with her, you know, thinks she's, you know, really cool, amazing, whatever. Anyways, they make plans to like meet up the next day. He goes to her apartment and she's gone. And he finds like a symbol on her door that means like, it was like a hobo symbol or something like that. I can't remember. It means like she's lost or something. So he basically takes himself on like a wild goose chase all throughout Los Angeles, like trying to figure out what happened to this girl that he hit it off with. And he's finding like clues in the most like ridiculous, mundane things that you could even think of. There's like, one of them is actually pretty interesting. He like finds a clue in some Spider-Man comics, and this is like right after he was done playing Spider-Man. So that was kind of cool. But I was kind of talking about that weird subgenre where people just wander around aimlessly in dreamlike sequences, and that's like this entire movie. Like that's all that's going on. I was trying to like refresh my memory because it's been a long time since I've seen it. So I was reading through the Wikipedia. And I want to read this because it's so funny.
Okay.
It's like, if you want to like just get a small taste of like the ridiculousness of Andrew Garfield like following this conspiracy down a rabbit trail, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He gets a bracelet from a character, and this is like part of the plot from Wikipedia. He realizes the bracelet is engraved with chess moves, using them to plot coordinates on a Nintendo Power diagram and overlaying the map from a cereal box to reveal an off-the-grid location in the Hollywood Hills. So like that's the type of thing you're getting into with this movie is like, oh, this represents chess moves on this Nintendo Power magazine, and I can use the back of the cereal box. So yeah, it's a wild ride all across LA.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I love it. I am a longtime subscriber of the Under the Silver Lake Reddit
Oh yeah.
subreddit,
Yeah.
and that movie lives on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that are absolutely obsessed with that movie and like picking apart every little detail from that
Yeah.
movie. It's great. There's an article called "The New Cult Canon Under the Silver Lake." That's
Mhm.
great. You could just read
Okay.
that. It'll bring you up to speed on like what people think about the movie, how there's a small culture. It's from 2022, so
Mhm.
it's like I don't know, five,
Couple
6
years
years
after, yeah.
after the release of it, and talking about how the movie has had like intense staying power for a
Mhm.
small group of people.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like Under the Silver Lake never, pierced the public consciousness for the most
Right.
part, but the people that have seen it, a good deal of them have become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm one of them. I love it. It is like again, it very like in a small way scratches that Lynchian itch.
Mm-hmm.
So it works for me in that way. And
Yeah.
yeah, check it out. It's long, so buckle in, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it because I remember the first time I watched it, it's a follow up by the guy who made what's it called? It Follows, right? It's
Yeah.
the It Follows guy, and It Follows like maybe one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like a top 10. And so I was so ready to love whatever he made.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember liking Under the Silver Lake, but it's not It Follows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
What's funny is
unfair comparisons.
Yeah. It Follows is so breezy, so like straightforward in a good way. It's
All
like,
right.
dude, the premise is laid out right away. You're gonna sit down and you're gonna like this horror movie.
It's
Under
just
the
a
Silver
ride
Lake,
to the end, basically.
exactly. Yeah. Under the Silver Lake is like incomprehensible at every turn, but
Yeah.
in a way that for me is like really, really, really fun. Like it's exactly what I get like stoked about in these types of like weird movies,
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think we've seen anything from him since Under the Silver Lake, right?
is he making a sequel to It Follows?
Yeah, called They Follow.
Yeah.
It's still in pre-production though. So until they start filming, I don't know.
Sure.
He's got another one called Flowervale Street. It's a science fiction movie. Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor.
Awesome. It says something about time traveling dinosaurs.
Oh,
So, okay.
cool. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Oh, produced by J.J. Abrams. So
Sweet.
I wonder if he probably the biggest budget he's ever had.
Oh, it has to be.
Makes this, yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, I think Under the Silver Lake was A24, right? So like
Yeah.
I can't imagine it was a huge budget.
No. Plus it doesn't have any. It had a lot of locations, but they weren't like custom built. You know what I mean? They
Yeah, I
like,
think
found an apartment and
I think they literally did just take a camera all across Los Angeles. Like
right.
that's how it comes across for sure. I mean, I didn't know this. I guess Sydney Sweeney's in that movie. Interesting. I don't remember her.
In Under the Silver Lake.
Yeah, yeah,
She was like one of the girls by the pool or something.
yeah.
Something like that. She was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
She's like one of the young starlets that's at the ranch. Yeah. I'm not even sure she has a line in that movie. I don't remember though. She may have lots of lines. I have no clue. All right,
I only saw the movie once. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
My number one from 1962, The Manchurian Candidate.
Nice.
So good. I had never seen this. I watched it for this list.
Oh, cool.
I had The Manchurian Candidate, the Denzel Washington version, on my list. And I was like, I don't need to watch the original. You know, I like the remake well enough.
Yeah. I actually thought you were talking about the remake, but it just registered to me that you said 1962. So this is the original.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say that the remake would have completely fallen off my list. It definitely wouldn't have been at number one.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been like, 6 or lower. But once I put Manchurian Candidate at the top and I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely it. Then I was like, I'll just leave the other one off and mention, the remake.
Yeah.
So if you absolutely can't watch a black and white movie, watch the Denzel Washington one, but know that you are missing so much with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
The original 1962 was so good. I was kind of shocked and ashamed that I didn't watch it earlier.
Wow.
I recently watched another movie that I blind bought on Criterion Blu-ray called Seconds, directed by John Frankenheimer. So I really enjoyed that. Part of the motivation to watch it for this list was he also directed The Manchurian Candidate.
Nice.
Seconds is a paranoid thriller as well. I didn't think it was like as fitting for this list, certainly as this is, but Manchurian Candidate takes place after the Korean War. This veteran of the Korean War, American veteran, comes back to the United States and is being promoted by the government as a war hero, basically, him and the other guys in his company. And over the course of a series of flashbacks, you find out a little bit about their experience during the war, as well as some of the soldiers start having dreams after they come back to the United States. They start having dreams where they are killing each other, essentially, in the dreams. And it starts to make them question their opinion of each other. Like they have very strong positive feelings for each other, one guy specifically in their company. And it's almost like an irrational positive feeling about somebody. You know what I mean? Like they just have nothing but good things to say about this one soldier. And he's kind of being held up as like the guy who saved his platoon type of thing.
Yeah.
And whenever anybody asks them what they think about him, they're like, he's literally the greatest man that ever walked the earth. You know what I mean? Like that's how positive they feel about him. And then over the course of the movie, they start to put together that like their dreams are very similar about this guy. And they're like, well, maybe I don't think that. Why, when anybody asks me, do I immediately say that type of thing? And so they just start questioning what happened to them in Korea. And that's kind of where I want to leave it. These other soldiers trying to figure out why they have intense positive feelings about this one guy in their troop.
Yeah.
And they can't explain why they have these feelings.
Right.
And they deep down in the back of their brain feel like they're tricking themselves into feeling that way.
Is that why? Is it the same plot as the Denzel one? Because my impression of the Manchurian Candidate was this was like the government making someone who could like commit assassinations for them or something like that. Is that not what that movie's about?
That is a part of the Manchurian Candidate story.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And I would say with the Denzel Washington version, it's focused on far more heavily than this 1962 version.
Cool.
There's like some scenes in the setup, some of the dream sequences that is like truly disturbing, and not in like a bloody way, more in like a soldier on soldier and we're on the same side type of violence.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's this movie's from the early 60s, and so it's like still kind of shot like a stage play and acted not in a modern way. By the way, I watched this great video about what's his name, The Godfather, the guy who literally played the Godfather, Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
There's this great YouTube video. I'll put it in the description of this episode for anybody listening, and I'll send it to you as well. But it takes one scene from Marlon Brando on the waterfront and goes through all the things he's doing as an actor and all the ways he's doing things that people didn't do before he did it on the waterfront. Like, it's showing some of the acting techniques that
like he was a pioneer for.
Yeah, it's like a 15-minute video. It's not a heavy lift at all. And it's like, when people say Marlon Brando's changed acting, this one scene has everything they're talking about. Wow. Essentially. And then they like go through all the little acting choices he made. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, this movie has that old style of acting in it, and yet it was effective for me. And you know me, I don't like old movies that feel like stage plays. So the fact that it elevated above that, I think means something, and I enjoyed it a lot. And now I understand when people who have seen both movies and they're like, the Denzel Washington's fine, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original. The contrarian in me wants to disagree with that so much, but I can't. Now that I've seen both of them, I agree. The first one has so much more to offer than the Denzel Washington one, which is the Denzel Washington one turned it into like an action movie, kind of.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas this one just kind of sticks to the drama and the intrigue and the conspiracy. So anyway, my number one.
Sweet. I would have never thought to watch the original. I probably wouldn't have even entertained the idea. Now, I have no problem with black and white movies or anything of the sort, but just probably wouldn't have thought that I would like it as much as the remake. So anyways, I'm glad you picked it and it came up, because now I know to watch the original. That's cool.
I'm enjoying watching the black and white movies on Criterion.
Oh, they look,
because they are not like the black and white movies that I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
During holidays and whatever. Those movies are fine, but they feel like old movies to me. And some of these do too, but they're in order to be in that collection, so far from my experience, there has to be more than just it's an old movie that's respected. It has some kind of weirdness or some kind of technique or something to keep my interest better than my memories of those old movies from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So.
In that case, I'm going to do the quickest Lynch plug that I possibly can. Okay. Have you watched the Criterion of Eraserhead?
I think I've seen Eraserhead. I don't think I've seen it on Criterion. I definitely didn't see it on Criterion because it would have been a long time.
Yeah, we don't have to go into it. It looks amazing. It's so cool. There's, the sort of famous prop from Eraserhead is the baby that's like all deformed, and it's obviously like a little like practical creation that David Lynch made himself. It looks so awesome on the Criterion, so it's worth a rewatch.
I wonder if I have it on Criterion. I don't remember.
I know of a really easy way you can check.
Yeah. Should we? I mean, it's the end of the podcast, but if you're a hardcore listener and you like Criterion, you should go to CRITCOL.com and register an account. It's my website to track Criterion collections, your own personal Criterion collection. What am I searching again? Eraserhead.
And it's awesome. Yeah, Eraserhead.
I do not have it. When I get it, I'll rewatch it.
Yeah,
I gave Eraserhead 4 stars on Letterboxd.
Nice.
Yeah. So evidently I liked it. Plus I'm seeing now it's 90 minutes long, which is great.
Yeah, easy. Okay, I have one more. I'm number 1, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the 1978 one. So this also has a remake. I think the original is from like the 50s or something like that.
There's a remakes before it and after it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, okay, I watched the 1978 one. I'm obsessed with this movie. This was awesome. I watched this for this list.
Nice.
And yeah, so this has Donald Sutherland and Leonard Nimoy and very young Jeff Goldblum, which is awesome. Really,
Hmm.
really cool to see those guys all in a movie together. Um, so this is like a some sort of like plant from outer space makes its way to Earth and starts to basically try and like replace humanity.
Hmm.
Um, so they if you like kind of like come in contact with the plants, basically when you go to sleep, you start to get like really, really sick, and the plant that you came in contact with is like growing a replacement for you. And the replacements are like they're just sort of like very like deadpan, almost like hive mind, and the people that are interacting with them,
Hmm.
they just can tell that like something is off. Like it looks and sounds just like the actual person, but all these people throughout the city are like my like wife or like my friend, whatever. They're not acting like themselves. They've been replaced. They're not like the real person, right?
Hmm.
Um so the main actress, her name is Brooke Adams, who I did not recognize from anything, but she is so awesome in this movie. She kind of looks like who's the girl that played the new Snow White? Rachel something. Anyways,
Yeah.
I was watching the movie. There's like times where I was like distracted because I'm like, wow, dude, she looks like that girl so much. But um so she's kind of the first one that starts to piece together that it's her husband is just like not acting like himself. And she has a good friend played by Donald Sutherland that works for the health department. That was kind of cool because his character is a health inspector in the movie, and he's like doing experiments on like potatoes and stuff that he pulled out of a restaurant to like test them for like sicknesses or whatever. And I'm like, I'm kind of a health inspector, so I was like, oh, nice, dude. Donald's making it cool in this
I,
movie. Like,
I'm
that's
kind of
my
a health
guy.
inspector.
Yeah.
That's great.
So anyways, the reason I love this so much, one is like there's a ton of really, really cool imagery. So like I watched this right after I watched The Conversation.
Hmm.
And I mean, 5 seconds into this movie, I'm like, oh, thank God, this is so much more entertaining than The Conversation. It starts with like these like floating dust particles is kind of what it looks like in space. And like they like start making their way towards Earth, and they get like caught up in rain, and then they rain onto some plants, and then they like sort of like spread little like tendrils out onto the plants.
Hmm.
And this was made in 78, so it's all like practical, but right away I'm like, dude, these effects are really, really cool. And I have no idea how they filmed this in 1978. Like, it looks really, really awesome. But there's also like a lot of really, really cool like film language, I guess, that I wouldn't expect necessarily from like I didn't know that that's what I was getting from this movie. So like
Hmm.
at the very beginning, there's a character like swinging on a swing set, and the camera is like a side view, and the camera is moving like with the swing of the swing set. That was really, really cool. There's the first character that is kind of like body snatched is the that actress's husband. So
Hmm.
there's like a shot of a hallway, and she has a room all full of plants, and there's like the glass of the door that you're kind of like at the end of the hallway, and you see the plants, and then he walks down the hallway and he sits down, and his reflection is in the glass of the room with all the plants,
Hmm.
and the plants are what like you come in contact with, and then they grow a replacement for you. So like right from the beginning of the movie, you're seeing the guy's reflection like over a room full of plants. That was super
Hmm.
interesting. um the practical effects are like insane. They have these giant plant pods that are growing these like full body versions of like all these characters. There's one random scene where like one of the replacements, one of the body snatchers is like a human dog hybrid, and it was absolutely one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. um
Hmm.
and there's like an absolutely iconic ending.
Okay.
The story of the movie essentially is like they start to figure out that people are being body snatched. I keep using that, but I'm like, yeah, it makes sense in the context of the movie. Um, and they're kind of like they're really the only ones because more and more people are being replaced. So it's
Hmm.
like the entire rest of humanity is like, well, now they're replacements and they're still like kind of going about their day in some ways, and then they really do start to just like take over the entire earth, but
Hmm.
or at least the city that they're in. But the main characters are basically like the last ones left, kind of. So I feel like the movie was like trying to ask you like what would you even do if like, well, we're the only ones that are different now. Like the body snatchers were different when they first got here, but they've taken over everything. So like, are
Hmm.
we just going to be the last ones left forever?
Sure.
And kind of like explores that idea. So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I was so surprised how much I love this movie. It was really rad.
Now I wish I had watched it. It was definitely on my short list. Like I could only get in like 2 or 3
Yeah,
before we did this recording.
right.
So it was on the short list. I just didn't
Yeah.
get to it, but I definitely want to. Um, yeah, so there was definitely the 1950s version and the 78 version you were talking about.
Mhm.
There was one in 1993 from Abel Ferreira, who like famously kind of made slutty erotic thrillers in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I have seen The Faculty. Have you ever seen The Faculty
No?
from 1998? This is a Robert Rodriguez movie, the guy who made
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
bunch of like low budget to no budget movies. But that movie's good, and it's like basically, what if the body snatching happened, but it was like all your teachers,
Oh, weird.
and then like the teachers start recruiting the students. You know what I mean? And like all the students start
Yeah.
acting like drones, and they're
Yeah.
all kind of acting together. And then the most recent version was in 2007 called The Invasion, which I have no memory of, and I gave
Yeah.
2 stars on Letterboxd.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, and The Invasion I think has a major, Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig star
Wow.
in The Invasion. Pre James Bond Daniel Craig.
Interesting. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I watched it, was because the cast is good. I take it back. I gave it 1.5 stars.
Oh, man.
I didn't give it 2. And I'm not the only one. People seem to hate this on Letterboxd.
Oh, that's interesting. One of the actresses in that remake is
Mhm.
from the original movie. She's supposed to be like
Okay.
super old. And
Interesting.
who was the director you were talking about before?
Abel Ferrer.
I've never even heard of them, but
No?
I'm
I've only
scrolling.
seen 2 other movies from him. I've seen King of New York and I've seen Bad Lieutenant.
King of New York. I'm just like I'm scrolling through. I'm seeing a movie with like there's Ethan Hawke on the poster. There's William
Yeah.
Dafoe. There's Shia LaBeouf. Like there's another William Dafoe. This guy's clearly like making movies with cool people, but I've literally never heard of him.
Yeah, Padre Pio, I want to see. That's the Shia LaBeouf. I think Abel Ferreira also has like controversies, like Roman Polanski style.
Gotcha.
I don't remember exactly what they are, but like he's one of these guys that like once stuff came out about him, people were like, that makes sense.
Oh, because of like the subject matter
Because of the kinds of movies he makes, which I don't think is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like I know plenty of people who directed like the most insane, gratuitous horror movies.
Sure. Yeah.
Totally normal people with perfect criminal records. You know what I mean? Like no, not even parking tickets. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's a 1-to-1 between a filmmaker's content and who they actually are in real life. But in some cases, I guess you can make a connection, maybe. Although I'm not seeing on his Wikipedia article, there's no like
controversy.
There's no like cancellation section or anything like that. So I don't think he
he has made a bunch of movies with William Dafoe, and
Yeah.
William Dafoe is one of my favorites. So
Yeah, I don't see anything in here that's like he got Me Too'd or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, huh? I gotta, I
I don't
gotta,
know. I don't know where I got that from.
I gotta look into this. What?
I know he definitely worked with. It was controversial that he was working with. You just said his name, Shia LaBeouf, because that was
sure.
like post Shia LaBeouf being outed by what's her name? His
Mia
wife.
Goth.
No, not even Mia Goth. He was with somebody else after Mia Goth who accused him of abusing her. Who am I talking about? This is important.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
When I say her name, you're gonna know her.
Yeah.
FKA Twigs.
I have no idea who that is.
You don't know FKA Twigs? Come on, the
FKA
music artist
Twigs?
FKA Twigs.
I don't
Come
think
on.
so.
You're the music guy. You know everything about all this stuff.
Oh, I don't. Is that
You should
true?
listen. I don't know. I hang around with Zach, so anybody who knows like the tiniest sliver of music, I assume they know everything.
Okay.
So yeah, LP1 from FKA Twigs. That's where you should start. That's her first album.
Got it.
If you like that, just keep going.
Cool.
It's very weird R&B hip hop, but like not traditional, just like weird electronic sounds, experimental-ish, I would say.
Yeah. What was the movie that we were talking about, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and you brought up Abel Ferreira?
Oh, that is just called Body Snatchers, I believe.
I'm interested in watching.
Just called Body Snatchers from 1993.
93, okay.
And The Invasion might be worth watching just because of the actors in it. It's like interesting to see them in a movie that bombed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, there's a reason why it bombed. It's not a great movie, but you'll watch it and be like, why is Nicole Kidman in this? Like, what was her agent thinking when they said, you should do this?
Daniel Craig too. Yeah. What's interesting is why is Body Snatchers the movie that has been remade so many times in so many different ways? Like,
I think because you can kind of make it without a lot of special effects. You just have the actors act weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could be. I mean, I don't know, man. The one that I watched, like, there's a lot of like plant pods growing people. So I don't know if that's in any of the remakes, obviously, but
sure. I've never seen the one you're talking about or the one from the 50s.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to catch up on it.
Yeah. I'm interested in Body Snatchers. I'll probably
well, let me know. I haven't seen that one either, so let me know how it is, whether I should check it out or not.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of 3 stars. So
yeah. It's got Forrest Whitaker in it and Arlie Ermy, who played the drill sergeant in the Kubrick movie.
Yeah, of course.
These other names I don't recognize, but I do recognize those two. And I bet Forrest Whitaker is like a baby in this movie. If we're talking 1993,
93.
He's probably in his early 20s when they made this movie.
Yeah, the Body Snatchers that I watched, dude, seeing Jeff Goldblum as like, I mean, I don't know how old he was, but he's maybe early 20s, like at the old, like he's very young.
Yeah.
And again, it was like a total surprise because I was just picked this out of a list that you had sent me, you know, like, oh, that's one I've heard of and I'm interested in. Sure, I'll watch it. And then all of a sudden Jeff Goldblum's in it. I'm like, oh.
Minus 1952. He was 26 years old when that movie was released. When they filmed it, probably 24-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, there was another one that I saw him in recently that I was like, holy crap, you are very young. I don't remember what it was. It's fine. Doesn't matter. All right. That's it for this episode 704 of the Cinereelists. Thanks for joining me, Logan. That was fun to go through the list with you.
Yeah, thanks. Honestly, so rad. Thank you for inviting me to be on the podcast.
No,
It's really cool.
absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I feel like next week we will likely have Troy on,
Nice.
who's another like longtime listener. I think between you and Troy, you guys are kind of like the two. There's probably more that are like quieter about it, but that have been with us almost from the very beginning, which is
nice.
Which is great. Super fun.
What are you guys talking about next week?
Probably Predator Badlands.
Cool.
Yeah. Hopefully. That's the plan for now. No guarantees, but I've seen it. I'm ready to talk about it for sure.
Nice.
Before we go, let me remind you to check out the video version on YouTube, support us on Patreon, leave us an Apple Podcast review, or send us an email. Links are in the description to do any and all of those things. You could also follow the podcast on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. You could also follow me on my personal Blue Sky or Letterboxd account at YoJRB. Logan, where can the listeners find you online?
Letterboxd is fine at Peekabizzle. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to.
Nice. You got any concerts coming up?
Dude, I think I'm done with concerts for the year. I did get a ticket to Rush. I'm still monitoring prices for the show in Tampa. So stay tuned. But
okay. Well, like I said, if the Tampa one happens, let me know.
I'm gonna make it happen.
I will absolutely go see Rush in Tampa.
Sweet.
That sounds fun. I think I have one more, and then I'm done for the year too.
Who are you seeing?
Mark Ribier.
Sounds familiar. I don't know.
He's an electronic artist that improvises every song.
Oh, cool.
He only has like a handful of released songs. So most of his sets are 100% improvised, and he's kind of half comedian, half electronic artist.
Totally know this guy. He does live shows. I did not know that.
Yeah, he does live shows.
I've just seen like YouTube videos of him, like in his living room in a robe or something, just being like all
being
erratic
a madman.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll be seeing him Tuesday night.
Cool.
And then that'll be it. I've exhausted. There's nobody coming to town between now and like January that I care about. So cool.
It was a good year for concerts. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week, or at least I will. And this is me and Logan reminding you to keep it cinereal.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
This is spoiler chat for Bugonia. If you don't want to hear spoilers for Bugonia, you shouldn't listen to this because that's what we're doing here. we're going to spoil it. And so, yeah, if you don't want to hear spoilers, you should pause it, go see the movie, come back to this later, give it a listen then. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then I guess listen on because, yeah, we're going to spoil it. All right. What do we have to spoil about Bugonia? I mean, I guess we should say she's an alien, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the big one is she's an alien. We were talking a lot about how good the movie is at making you flip-flop, like during the events of like, is she an alien? Is she not? So the first thing I picked up on really, really early in the movie is they're, I don't know if it's Emma Stone or if it's like post production or something, but they're doing something to her voice. And it's really, really subtle because she
Hmm.
already kind of has like a pretty distinct, like raspy voice. But they're adding like I don't know if scratchiness is the right word or, but I picked up on it right away. I'm like, she's doing something. Like that's not her completely like normal voice. So
Hmm.
I'm sold. She's an alien. Like frame one, I'm like, he's right. She's an alien. The voice thing, you know. But then the first time that he goes into the basement to like have a conversation with her, she she's like, I don't know, talking just the way that she like goes through the situation to try and convince him that she's not an alien.
Hmm.
She convinced me too. I'm like, oh, what? Okay, no, he actually is crazy. But what I maybe didn't pick up on, and you said in the review, was like, she's playing it as the CEO who like probably can't relate to normal people and has no like emotion in that way to like say things in the right way.
Yeah.
That is like, her performance is like even better than I already thought it was when I left the theater because
Hmm.
she was doing other subtle things like at the end when he has her like kidnapped and they're going to the her headquarters or whatever.
Hmm.
So like when they left, she was being like really threatening to him at Jesse Plemons' house, like how many of them were aliens and like you're such a, she calls him stupid or something. I don't know. She's like being really threatening. But then when they go to her headquarters and there's other people around, she's acting like a victim and way more like human and non-threatening, I think, because there's other people around. I mean, the movie doesn't like throw that in your face or anything, but it's like a really, really subtle difference in the performance. So, um, and I like that she does end up being an alien. I think that's the ending that the
Sure.
movie needed. Yeah.
At what point did you know for sure that she was an alien? Like in your mind? Because for me, it wasn't until she got into the closet after it had
Oh,
exploded.
really? I feel like I was convinced before that. It might have
Okay.
been like when she says the line like, what did she call the aliens? Andromedans, I think.
Yeah, yeah. When they're
So,
still in the basement.
yeah, when they're in the basement, and I
Okay.
guess this is like kind of another, spoiler is like Jesse Plemons has been like experimenting on people to find out if they were aliens. So she
Hmm.
finds like a secret room in his basement, and there's like dead bodies and stuff in there. And she asks him in again, like super angry, threatening way, like how many of them were Andromedans? And he's like, oh, at least two. So I feel like that was the moment where I was fully convinced. I wasn't going back from thinking that she was an alien.
Interesting. So, but then you also described the walk through her corporate headquarters where she can't talk to normal people. Were you
Yeah.
starting to doubt again?
I mean, I could have, but I was mostly convinced that like she is an alien, but this is part of the performance that she always does. There's other people around, you
Okay.
know? So like this is normal for her putting on the performance when other people are there. And then like the calculator thing too, like it was in like almost like in an ornate box.
Hmm.
And the box was like specifically for the calculator. So like as soon as she grabbed that and she's like, "Here's a calculator. I gotta type in the thing." I'm like, she has to. Yeah, she's an alien. Why would the calculator be in that box? So
I didn't even notice the box,
it was like
to be
it was in a
honest.
very like specific part of her desk, and it was
Hmm.
like it was obviously for the calculator. And
Hmm.
it's like an old style, like just crappy calculator, you know? So it's
Sure,
like,
sure.
why would that have a specific box if it wasn't like a real thing, you know?
Interesting. I mean, now that you ask these questions, they make sense. But in the moment, I was not. I was
Yeah.
not picking up on any of that.
Yeah. I
Um,
guess the big turn too is she's in the ambulance. Oh,
mhm.
and also the funniest line of the movie. Remember, she asked the paramedic, like, did he die? And he's like blown into like four pieces. Did he die? And she's all, yeah, he passed away. It was so funny. But she like jumps out of the ambulance and just like beelines it back to her office or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, well, I can't think of any other reason that she would be going back towards the office. Like if she was a normal human, she'd just go to the hospital, I guess.
That's when I was like 99.9% sure she was an alien. There were other times where I got, close to that, but not fully there. Because I feel like he threw in just enough silliness here and there that every time I thought I knew for sure, there's like multiple explanations for people's behavior at any given moment. And so I couldn't put a stamp on it. And with Yorgos, you don't know what he's going to do. Not that he's like M. Night and he's going to swerve you at the last minute, but his movies are so fresh to me from one scene to the next, even if they're not comedies or anything, that I just didn't know where this was going to go. And again, he did a good job of just kind of giving you reasons to believe one direction or another without without eliminating past theories. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like he could have very easily been like, had Jesse been like, you're an alien because of this. And then you go through a scene disproving that.
Right.
Very rarely did they do that. It was just like, you're an alien because of this. And her defense for that was, I couldn't possibly be an alien because of this intangible thing that you can't really measure.
Right.
Type of thing. And so you're just kind of left with this vague body of evidence on both sides. So it's like impossible to choose. The first time I had a feeling that I was leaning towards her being an alien was in the basement when after she discovers the room. And then when she started playing along and wanted to go to the corporate headquarters, then I was like, well, maybe she was just saying that to get out of the basement. You know what I mean? To win him over, get him out of the basement, get into an area with other people, that type of thing. And then she gets him all the way to her office. And then I was like, this is when she stabs him with the scissors, you know what I mean? And tries to get away or whatever. Sure. I don't remember. When did they show the bomb? Was that in her office?
Right before he went into the closet, he says something like having a backup plan or something like that. It was right before he went into the office though. So I kind of read it almost as like she put him in there first, knowing that like his crappy homemade explosive was probably going to like malfunction or something like that when she did whatever it was that was going to take him to the planet. Like it would interfere with his explosive and she knew it would kill him or something.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
What do you make of the very, very end? There's like 2 to 3 minutes maybe where she like kind of like pulls the plug on humanity, right? So she tells like a story of how the Andromedans are like related to human beings. And from the end of the movie, I think when she told that story, she was not making it up. Like in this world that is actually like true. That's what happened, because at the very, very end, she like pops the bubble over the like flat earth thing. And literally every single human being is dead. And it's for like 2 to 3 minutes. It's just showing dead human bodies in whatever like thing they were doing when she pulled the plug.
Yeah, whatever totally normal scenario they were in or whatever. There's like a shot of like a mahjong hall and like everybody's dead in it. And then they cut to, a fisherman in Alaska. So I don't remember if those are
people hanging on the beach. There was like there was a couple in bed. There was, I mean, just every like spectrum of normal human activity you can think of was like represented almost.
And they were like mostly not exotic like situations. They were just normal situations. And she also seemed kind of forlorn about doing that too. She seemed hesitant to like she actually cared about Earth on some level, but that it was like a failed thing that they had tried.
Because I think she didn't make the decision to do it until the other aliens had told her like our experiments they're most likely going to fail. Like we don't think any of them are going to be successful. So they're almost like there's nothing left for us now. And I think that was the only time she actually decided like, okay, now I'm gonna go, pop the bubble or whatever. But it was such a like visually stunning, scary way to like end the movie is just 2.5 straight minutes of dead bodies,
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It sort of drove home the point to me, kind of like what I took away from it was like another example of like being shown the differences of like the ultra wealthy, powerful CEO, whatever, to like
Hmm.
normal people, like
Hmm.
someone with this amount of wealth and power has the ability essentially to like just nix normal people just like that at the pop of a balloon.
Hmm.
So I don't know that that's like what the movie is actually trying to explore. That's what I took away from it. And so the more and more since I've seen it that I'm like thinking through it in my head, I'm like, man, I think like there's a lot of like powerful themes in here to unpack. So I'm kind of curious to see it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with a lot of Yorgos movies, there's clearly some kind of social issue or something on
Yeah.
his brain at some point, and then he kind of writes it into like the weirdest thing he can write it into,
Yeah,
essentially.
totally.
And then normally it's flowered up with some wacky action or some, just general oddness or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's hard to not necessarily take it seriously. It's not a meditation on that social issue. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But it's still in there type of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what the social message is, but there's definitely the CEO stuff.
Hmm.
There's what if the conspiracy theorists are right
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
There's
Did you notice that so like the way that she kind of like kills all the humans or whatever, she pops that bubble.
yeah,
The the Earth is like the
flat.
accepted flat Earth, whatever. I don't remember what they call it or whatever, but the conspiracy theorists who believe that the Earth is flat, that is like their model of the Earth. So
Right.
like the model that the conspiracy theorists use are the ones that she has on her spaceship.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that means, but it was really cool.
Yeah, and the Jesse Plemons character, he pretty much had it all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and even her as the invading alien or whatever, um just kind of gaslights him into thinking he's
Yeah.
not right. So
Hmm.
I don't know what the message is there.
Totally. I mean, especially when you consider that like this is a person who's so far gone down the rabbit hole that he's like chemically castrating himself to like what was the point? He's like, I don't want to be tempted by her in any way at all. Like I can't
Sure.
let her have power over me. So we have to do this thing. So like, yeah, I agree. I don't know what that message is if that guy is right, but it's an interesting movie.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to imagine this movie if it was directed by oh, what's his name? The guy who did Mother.
Oh, Aronofsky? Is that?
Yeah, Aronofsky. Just what a different movie it would be.
Yeah.
Or like some other directors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure they could mix kind of that the goofy
Hmm.
seriousness of that ending.
Yeah.
Because like the visuals are very 60s Star Trek, I would say.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
they
they
get up
are.
to the alien planet.
Right. Yeah, the way they're all
Intentionally.
dressed and they're yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even I thought one of the coolest parts of the movie was the way that she like teleports to
Mhm.
her ship is she's just like in a bath of goop and she like wakes up and lifts up her head and there's all this like liquid stuff like running off of her. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's way more effective than if they tried to like beam her up somehow or something like that. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
this is way more like visually interesting. But yeah, the aliens are like they kind of just look like normal people with weird clothes. I mean, for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, it's very very Star Trek.
Yeah, with Yorgos, I think part of what draws me to his movies is that they're so organic.
Hmm.
Like the sets, the practical effects. Like, I'm sure there are digital effects in all of these things, but they're so specifically used and subtle that we just haven't gotten a movie where there's like a digital character in one of these movies, or we haven't gotten like a space movie from him that requires, a lot of CGI, a lot of obvious CGI rather. And so not necessarily looking for that. If he made one, I'd be interested for sure. But I think it gives his movies like just a quality that you don't see as often today.
Yeah.
As I would like. Although, I don't know, there's probably plenty of dramas that don't have that kind of stuff. But
Sure.
I don't know.
For me, I mean, it's just his like his sensibility, like the vibe and the way he's getting actors to perform, like it's just so wholly unique. Like I can't think of like any other director that is creating like versions of their own little world that all of these movies seem to take place in, So he just has like a sensibility that is completely unique and happens to be right up my alley. Like every single time I see one of his movies, I'm like, dude, he's doing the Yorgos thing and it's made for me. I love it.
Sure. Yeah.
So
definitely. All right. Anything else spoiler wise that we got to talk about? We didn't really talk about Stavros as the police officer, but he was good. Do you know that guy?
I do not know him.
Okay.
It was so strange. It like, I know it's definitely meant to make you feel uncomfortable, but the way he is so nonchalantly like talking with Jesse Plemons about how he assaulted him when he was a kid just made my skin crawl, dude. Like it was so uncomfortable. And I mean, that's a good thing in the context of the movie because I feel like that is what he's trying to do. Like he wants the audience to feel that, but
sure.
I don't know the context of that actor at all. I don't think I've seen him in anything.
I don't think he's in much as an actor. He's a stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he used to have a pretty popular podcast with like two other guys.
Gotcha.
That eventually they just stopped making, kind of went their own ways. But he's really funny as a comedian. And so when I saw him on screen, having not seen the trailer, didn't know he was in it at all.
Yeah.
To have him on screen was pretty wild. I think pretty much he serves the purpose of, one, just being another oddball in this movie.
Yeah.
And two, again, trying to humanize and understand before you know the truth.
Right.
Jesse Plemons' conspiracy theorist character. You know what I mean? How he got to the level that he got. And in that point in the movie, you don't fully trust that he's right. And so, between that and the flashbacks, I think those two and his relationship with the cousin just kind of humanized the guy to a level that I wasn't ready for at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, agreed. So. Yeah. Nice.
All right.
Awesome movie. Everyone watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I liked it as well. And thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.